All right. Well, so last we left off, the group at large had been still at the fort, kind of finishing up their last little bits of business that they had after having completed the request of the individual that was missing a bracelet, having returned back successful in infiltrating the Knoll Cave previously and successfully avoiding most of the traps other than a couple of them. One in particular being a bit of a challenge as it caved away and gave into a large open hole in the center of the tunnel that led to a passageway below. A large beast having been set loose upon their tracks, racing down the tunnel, they were able to narrowly skirt their way along the edge using a rope to keep them from falling down into the tunnel. Making their way out of the cave and then back to town, they collected their gold rewards. They went about their business doing some shopping, splitting up the gold and everything else. They resolved any differences that their party might have had, and then they rejoined in the evening to finish up the last of their preparations to discuss where they were going to go next. Intrigued about some information they learned about a potential teleportation circle that the Sultan has to the southwest of where they're at currently, they decided to make their way down there, hoping that maybe currying favor or potentially doing something else might grant them access, or at the very least, more information to a safer or faster route to their destination. That is currently where they are at. They have also been given a little bit of information about a smaller, petite elf with a bear cub that had been making her way down to the southwest through the desert as well. That has a little bit of a lead on them currently, but is traveling by herself.
Alright.
Alrighty.
Uh, so where are
Alright.
we?
So,
So we're heading
off.
out of the village.
Okay.
Yep, through the desert.
Yeah, we were just stepping into the desert after she explained how the drafts of the sand were.
Oh, okay. We went out of the encampment to a
Oops.
safe distance. All right.
Yes, and then you poisoned the sand. Or did something weird.
I see.
Necrotic
I-
stuff.
So, depending on whichever way, now that we know the trick, we started heading down that way. That
Correct.
would
You
be
are,
towards-
sorry, not southwest, southeast. You are heading
Yes.
towards Antir.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wait, so do we all understand how to do the trick, or are we all just like, we know
Oh.
now that it exists?
You all know that it exists. You were all told that it might be difficult to do if you ever lose your bearings, but it is something that all of you understand at least the concept of.
So
Okay.
whoever gets lost has to do a perception check, and whoever has the best one can do it. If everyone has anything worse, we're gonna get lost.
Well, and
We
from
also
what, I,
have paper.
from what I remember, I'm the only one with any kind of wind thing to be able to even do the trick, unless somebody else has something.
And you used
Well,
it, so you don't have any more. It was like a one-time thing, wasn't it?
no, the trick in particular isn't casting the spell, it's seeing actual wind. And
Yeah.
you know that the wind itself is going to be coming from the coast, so the southeast, up to the northwest. So you're looking for natural wind doing it. She
Yeah.
was just
Okay.
doing an example with you doing some form of a spell that had breath involved or wind involved.
Oh, okay.
So
So you don't need a spell to do it. Okay. You can just use
correct.
it. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But the fact that it relies on natural wind to tell you the direction means that if there is no wind, or if it's a very light wind, it will be harder to notice. Where if it is a very prominent wind with a long, like a strong gust, it will be easier to notice the correct direction.
All right. So, from where we are right now, I'd like to take note of where the sun is in the sky.
Yeah, so it follows the same sort of basic principles as our world for sun setting or sun rising and sun setting. It is currently early and it is rising in the east and it will set in the west. You seem to be slightly above the equator of the world, but not by much.
Okay, so the sun's just barely off to our left.
Correct. Looking
Okay.
south.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Everyone start walking.
Yep.
Or I do at
Starts
least.
this
Yorglot.
trek.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You make your way out into the desert, and as you make your way out, you do realize that the desert is not hot yet. It is still warming up from the midnight cool, and that's something that is very noticeable about your last couple nights spent near here, is that in the night it cools off quite dramatically to the point of being very chilly, to where it is almost imperative that you bundle up. But then during the days, it gets to a very high sweltering heat. Though being on the outskirts of the desert, it has not been an issue thus far. But making your way southwest or southeast, I need to, for whatever reason, get southwest out of my head.
I kept
Uh,
doing that last time too.
but making your way southeast, you slowly but surely lose the sort of like prairie-like backdrop that you had with the grassy terrain and the hills, and it gives way as you continue further into a more and more sand-like horizon behind you, the dunes blocking out any of that lush greenery that you previously could see. You've been traveling for about an hour, hour and a half before it gets to the point where, at this point, if you did not keep going in a straight direction, everything around you has now begun to look like sand. You do still have the mountains that are a little bit more to your direct north now than they were to your to your east before, as you've headed down below them now. But you get to the point where you can still see them. They're faint, but they give you sort of a landmark in the distance that you can use should you get lost currently. From what you were told in the fort, there is a village nearby, but it is not currently in sight. Whether it is below or behind some sand dunes, you're unaware. But you are heading in a direction that should directly pass by a village before you reach Antir.
Okay. Yorglot's gonna be looking out for gnolls and any of those sand creatures we had met before.
I will also be watching out for those.
All right. Go ahead and you can either make individual perception checks or perception checks with advantage.
Yorglot, what's your perception?
+2.
Okay, then I'll just give you advantage.
Okay.
Oh, my bear.
Natural 20.
Fuck yeah.
Wow,
my
starting
head.
off strong.
Fuck yeah.
As you make your way southeast, you do see some signs of gnolls that are out patrolling, but as you take notice of them, they also take notice of you. It's not particularly hard. They're not actively hiding currently. It looks like they're more out scouting as well, or out like trying to make it somewhere with a goal in mind. And as they see you, they begin to scatter and scurry away, and they don't engage your group.
Okay.
You do see a couple other creatures as you make your way into the desert. You see first some sort of desert-like dogs off into the distance, about 4 of them. They seem to be currently surrounding the corpse of some carcass of some unknown creature. It looks sort of camel horse like, but it's been too far mangled to really tell what exactly it is.
Yeesh.
And these dogs are sort of mangy. They have patchy fur that's kind of matted with dirt and blood and sand. Their fur itself looks to be sort of like almost like a sharp looking gray. It looks like the fur is coarse and rough, and not something comfortable to run your hands across. And they seem very engrossed in their meal and unconcerned with your group currently.
All
All right. I'm okay with just keep on going if you guys are.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eyes on the dogs, but I just would like to keep moving.
Then let's just keep going. At least we still have a direction while we still have it.
Mhm.
I'm just dying. I'm panting.
It's still
Trekking
relatively
on.
cool at this point. It's warming up, but
I know, but I have a -2 in athletics, so I'm pro. Not doing
We're
great.
not running.
I
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
your ability to walk or just like do normal things, I would more go towards your constitution. Athletics would be more for like doing something sports related of like
Yeah, but we
sprinting
are
or
walking
dashing.
through sand, right?
Yeah.
I'm tiny.
Well,
enough.
if you are struggling, then Renine will probably like hold her cloak over your head to give you some shade.
Alrighty.
Here you go.
Trick.
I feel the worst for Renine. If she's got her armor on, she's in full.
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, she's
It's
already
fortunately
sweating.
still cold.
Yeah.
Like it's not hot yet. It's still morning. It hasn't shaken off like the nighttime chill. But
Mm,
you gather it's not going to last long.
uh-huh.
Okay. Well, let's get it going.
And especially with my black hair and like
And
slightly black
armor.
armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am conducting heat.
Anyhow, you keep going. You do find what appears to be with your high perception, a small, like almost yellowish, goldish brown color rabbit that has what looks to have like almost blue-like horns on it that's currently running around, and as it catches sight of you, it kind of burrows into the ground really quickly and tries to get out of sight.
Oh.
Huh.
Pretty bunny. Renine wouldn't say that.
Rabbit burrowing in the sand.
Walk past
A
it.
golden
Yeah.
tinted one.
Gotta keep
Does it
going.
look like it's scared of us or like scared of something else?
Go ahead and make a survival check for that.
Okay. Let's
I
go.
believe.
Let's go. I believe as well. 20, not nat, but 20.
It definitely seems more scared of you.
Okay.
It seems like it doesn't not trust humanoid creatures at all.
Alrighty. So yeah, keep
Well, I
walking.
think it's kind. No. Yeah. Keep walking.
Continuing on, this point it's been about 3-ish hours. The morning has started to fade. It's now about 10:30, almost 11, almost going on noon. So you're almost to that afternoon point where the heat really starts to kick in. But it's already up to around high 70s, low 80s in terms of temperature. The heat is starting to get to you, Renine, in the armor, but it's not to the point of impeding you quite yet, but it is definitely getting there.
I'm sweating.
Is there any wind?
There is a slight wind currently. It's noticeable. It's like you can still easily do the trick, and you know that you haven't changed course at any point thus far.
Okay.
But you do still see the trickle of sand blowing off the dunes, so you do still have at least a good direction of which way is southeast.
Okay.
As you're heading a bit further, you begin to start to see what looks to be like a large caravan almost. You see multiple different sort of camel-like creatures in that they have long forelegs with sort of like a short fur, long neck. But when it comes to the head, you see more of a like dog or canine-like head. And on the back, as compared to having like just a large singular hump, it seems to have almost like a ridge of spines that currently has packs placed between each. And there's about 5 of these spines in total running along the back. and there's about 20 people in this caravan that are traveling. They seem to be heading the opposite way of you. They seem to be heading to the northwest, going away from wherever you are headed.
Do they look rich?
Oh my god.
How do they look in general? Like, can we see from where they all?
They're
cloak?
distant currently.
Okay.
They're if you're at the top of a dune, they're about 2 or 3 away from you, about halfway up, but your dune is a bit taller, so you have the vantage point down to see them. It's hard to make out what they are wearing, what they look like. They don't look like they are soldiers by any means. Like you don't see any gleaming plates or anything of that nature. But whether or not they're noble or not is hard to make out at this point.
Okay.
All right.
Start walking towards them then. Well, it's still going the same way we're going, but I assume that's towards them. So.
Okay. Making your way further southeast as you make your way down and back up the next dune, you slowly start to see them coming closer and closer. And as they are approaching, they one of them seems to take notice of you and kind of holds his hand up. The caravan slows to a stop. The sort of large canine-like creatures begin to settle down into the sand and kind of lay down. They pull out some water, begin offering water to their creatures that you are unfamiliar with at this point in time, but they have since sort of gathered around and they are supposedly waiting for you to either pass or approach. At this point, you can see that it looks like the majority of them are not very rich. About 15 or so appear to have relatively tattered clothing, dark brown, sort of tattered shirts, pants that have, long since been turned into either torn shorts or have holes along the leggings, things of the nature. Uh, Half of them seem to have some form of like straw or hemp like sandal that's been woven underneath their feet to protect them from the hot sand. The other half seem to have nothing and their feet seem calloused or burnt to an extent. They are all very tanned, but then the other remaining few of them that don't have this sort of appearance seem much more well off. They seem to have a much more affluential or wealthy appearance to them. Their clothing is all in one piece. They have sort of like a long, dark blue vest that comes down open in the front, has 2 pockets on either side, and then sort of like a silk tied sash around their waist before 2 baggier long blue pants. And they all have that sort of same uniformed like attire to them.
Should we
Alright.
ask if they have seen our friend? Acquaintance?
Sure, we can
I'm
also
okay with
ask
that.
if we're on the right path.
Yeah.
So who's handling the mount? Well, creature? Whatever's holding the carriage? Pulling the carriage, I mean?
It was one of the people that was in the blue vest and blue pants. He's up at front currently, and he has his hand up. He's not holding anything. He's more giving the signal for them to hold.
Well, Renine would probably just, like, start walking on over towards them. It's like, excuse me. Was it a male or a female?
Male, from what you can tell.
Excuse me, sir. Are we walking towards the direction? Frick, this is hot. Are we walking towards the direction of? Fuck, how do you pronounce that city?
Yashaira.
Yeah, Yaida?
Yashaira.
Shira. Oh, frick. Are we heading towards the direction of Yershira? That way?
He sort of stands up straight. Uh, yes, if you're heading for Yashara, you are on the right track. Though, if it is possible, I advise you go to the north and go around.
Ooh,
Why is that?
what is that?
It is not safe currently. There has been some attacks, and the town is not as it once was.
Is it
Attack
Oh.
attacks from husks or
bandits?
bandits?
What hasn't it been? It's been husks at first. There were an increasing report of ashen in the area. They were supposed to be no more than maybe into the 20s or 30s, but it turned into hundreds before we knew it. Our guard was able to fight that off, but not without casualties. Then after that, seeing an opportunity, bandits attacked. They raided, pillaged, they took whatever they could. We again, the guards fought them off, but at a significant cost. And then a creature, most foul, seems to have taken up residence in that village, and so the rest of us are leaving. The sand is turning black. The wind is slowly dying. It is not exactly a friendly atmosphere right now, so I advise not going there if you can.
This creature, can you describe it to us?
Uh, I only know the rumors. It is a large snake-like creature. It has 4 legs and it walks on, but it has the head of a cobra. It comes up. It has a large fan that spreads out and 2 very prominent fangs from its upper mouth. The eyes are almost like emerald green. They are very vibrant and they pierce the night. The tail is long and has a sort of like a rattle at the end that seems to give itself away when it is hunting, but is uh, almost hypnotic in the way that it sounds and has been known to lure people off. It's also accompanied by a foul smell. It is something vile that we have not encountered before.
Are the
Um,
others still people living in the city?
Those that can't evacuate or can't get out have chose to stay behind, as well as those that don't want to leave. But most have left at this point. Many headed towards Antir, trying to seek shelter in the Sultan's city. Those of us that believe the rumors of the Sultan's city are choosing to make our way to the northwest.
I see. Well, I also have another question. Have you happened to see a short one? I'm like sizing up the Reina's character. Um, a girl about this tall with a bear on her back. Have you ever seen her pass? Elven by nature.
I believe there was someone like that. I can't be sure. It's at least noticeable, I believe, but there's been so much happening in the last few days, I cannot tell you if it is the one that you are looking for, but it seems unlikely that I would have saw a different one.
was she heading in our direction?
Or is she or was she at the town?
Last I saw her was at the town. Don't know where she's gone since.
Alright.
All right. Thank you for your information and for your help. Good luck.
He nods his head. Really don't suggest going that way, but if you do, good luck to you as well.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Don't
Very
get
much.
lost.
All right, then off we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like as we pass the carriage, can I like glance how many people are inside?
Well, so it looks like there's 20 or so people, and they're all
Cool.
walking.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Damn.
oof. Well,
There
then,
doesn't seem to be like it's a caravan, but it doesn't seem to have like an inner people. It's they're carrying goods on these creatures, and the rest of them are walking.
Ah, oh boy. Okay,
Alright.
that's a lot.
I mean, we knew it was gonna be dangerous, right?
Isn't this like the city that we're going?
It was the city that that one girl also said that had the other ascendant, right?
Yeah.
Not sent-
Oh, no, no, no. I
something-
think it was the village before that, right?
Ishida is the village before,
Yeah.
and Tyr is the one that you know that has the rumored ascendant.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So yeah, we're going to the one that's before it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And the village is the one with this weird creature in it.
Yep. All right.
So let's
Oh.
continue.
And here we go.
Yup.
All right. As you continue your way further, it's only about another hour and a half. At this point, the temperature has rose well into the upper 90s. It is very warm at this point already, and you gather it's only going to continue to do so. But at this point is when you begin to see the shifting color of the sand that they were talking about. The sort of golden yellow sands of the desert slowly give way to a more colorless, ashen gray or blackish kind of a sand that appears to be afflicted in some manner, and the wind that was faint before slowly begins to fade and lessen. It's there, you can still feel a breeze, but it feels weak and it is harder to keep track of the sands. Couple, more minutes passed, maybe about 20 or 30, and as you come across another sand dune, you look down into this larger sort of open area of desert that's less filled with dunes and is more flat and barren, and about what appears to be about another 20 minutes of a walk in front of you, you start to see sort of like sandstone huts and sort of clay buildings and things of the nature, all built to withstand the heat of the desert and to be able to withstand the harsh environment. And in the center, you see what appears to be a small oasis with sort of like palm trees coming up and out of the sands and other sort of shrubbery. But as you look, all of the trees have begun to lose their leaves. They look sickly and unhealthy, and as though it is slowly dying.
Well, doesn't obviously tell you enough of what we're getting ourselves into when this is just the beginning.
Can I go over to one of the plants that seem like they're withering? And is there any way I can?
Uh, the
oh,
oasis is
sorry.
in the city, so you would have to
like
enter the
really
city
far
to do
away. Okay, okay.
that. Yes.
Well, should we?
Do we see anybody, any people at all, or just barren?
Wait, so how many?
You don't see any people currently out and about.
So how long of a travel was this?
About total 6 to 6-ish hours.
Hmm.
The
Okay.
town is not that far from the fort.
And these sandstone huts, do they look like they have doors, or they're kind of more like Native American type, open windows, open doors type stuff?
They look like open doors, open windows. They don't seem to have like any sort of glass panes or anything like that blocking the outside elements. It's more of just a hole cut out of the stone.
Um,
Should we get in?
well, if that small girl we met in town is in there. I would hope that she's still here. And if so, I don't know what state she would be in to defend herself. So-
There's probably still a ton of citizens inside.
Alright, let's head in.
And also second that.
I'm going to carefully step into the city.
Oh, we're gonna stealth?
Or
Are we gonna
I am-
stealth? Are we
I
stealth?
am at least. I want to try
Let's
to be
stealth.
stealthy.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
stealth
know.
in the
Are we
middle
gonna
of a
stealth?
desert.
Well, we're walking into a city. You know, there's buildings.
Yeah, in
and
an
stuff.
open desert, dog.
You can still roll a stealth. I mean,
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, is it like 4 buildings in the city or like?
No, it's a sizable village. It's a village, not a city, more so. But it is,
village?
Okay.
like
Are we
it's
all
big enough
listening?
to at least have some ability to cover your presence if you're sticking closer to the walls and things of the nature.
Yeah, stuff like that. I just don't want to be walking out into the middle of this city that's completely barren, and then this monster sees us and
Fair.
wipes us. 16 on my stealth check.
I'll stealth as well.
Roll
Sure,
it.
I'll stealth.
Stealth.
I got a 6.
We
got
gotta be doing great, guys. I got a 9.
I got a 17. What?
All right. Well, at least 2 of us are decent.
Alright.
Okay. So you feel about average as a group. Some of you are louder than others. Some are quieter than others. So you feel like you're going to draw an average amount of attention, but not horrendous. As you make your way into the city, I do have a question for Reyna. You had about a 2.5-ish day lead on them.
Jesus.
How cautiously would you have been traveling, or would you have been traveling quickly?
I would be quickly.
Okay. So if that is the case, then you probably kept your 2.5-ish day lead, maybe even extended it to 3 days before arriving at this town. Since you've been here, it's been relatively dead. People have been treating you very coldly. They've been very suspicious of outsiders, especially with everything that's been happening lately. So you've not really been able to earn the good graces of anybody. You are still able to, find yourself food, find yourself water, find yourself shelter, but it's not to the point of like them extending open arms to you. It's more of you have to earn everything that you want in this town. When you've been staying here in this town, would you have chosen to stay within the village, outside of the village? And if outside of the village, how far outside of the village?
I would say outside, and I'd say like a mile away, like close enough, but not too far away.
Okay.
Like she wants to go in, but it's very cautious, I would say.
Yeah, so about a mile outside the village. Okay, so then I'm not going to have you roll for anything. You are on the outskirts, if not outside of the discolored sand. So you've been relatively safe from that. One thing you have noticed, though, is that elderly individuals or people who seem frail or weak appear to be falling ill. Not all at once, it's more of a slow progression, but that seems to be a very large driving factor in why people haven't left since you've been here, and also part of the reason why there's not as much hospitality to go around is because they're saving their resources to care for their sick. Going back, though, at this point, it would have been about midday. So if you wanted to make your way back into the town, you would have been able to. You'd have been here since morning. Is there anything that you would have been trying to do or look for in town, or any purpose of what you're here for?
Well, could be trying to look for like food, and you kind of lost your way, so trying to get out of like the desert lands. Is just
Okay.
completely lost, in my opinion.
Finding food would be, I'd say, a good portion of the morning before eventually you come upon a individual, older, very sort of like weathered skin, kind of has that harsh wind wrinkle that's kind of aged and sort of dried out the skin, and they look older than they are. They're probably in reality closer to their mid 40s as a human, but they look more like 60s to 70s. Their body seems to be at its limits already, and they see you looking for food and scrounging and invite you in, giving you a good, I guess, light meal, so to speak. It's as hearty as they can prepare, but consists of some breads, some very light soup broth, as well as a bit of sort of like a dried jerky from one of the many creatures of the desert that they have dried out. It sort of tastes like almost like a chicken or a turkey style jerky, but it has a tougher, sort of muscular like consistency to it. Probably gives you a better memory of any sort of like snake or serpent like creature that you may have ate in your earlier life. But it is good food. It's enough to sustain you, enough to get you going. And as they're, gathering around, the sort of weathered older individual, what's a young girl like you doing this far out into the desert by yourself?
I I'm trying to find food. I kind of veered off in the wrong direction.
See, well, if you stay for a while, I am sure that the sort of Zoltan's guards that have deserted the city of Antir will come back to help more refugees escape. But it will take them a few days. If not, you're free to find some travelers or maybe some merchants that you can try to go with. I would recommend that in the afternoon, right before the sun is going to set, there is a meeting that we hold in sort of the largest hut that you could attend, and if there's a party that's willing to take you, travel with them.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, I do not recommend staying here longer than you have to. I'm sure you've seen the condition of everybody here.
Yeah. He's very curious what's going on. What is happening?
We really don't know why it's happening. We know, we know that the Ashen attacked us. After that, we know that bandits attacked us, probably seeking a good opportunity to make some wealth. After that, this large serpent-like creature has begun attacking us, and it seems as though the life within the sands and within the oasis is slowly dying. We don't know what's causing it. We think it's probably the serpent creature, but we can't be sure. We've also heard unsettling rumors about the evenings and that we should not travel out at night. Some say that it is not like the ashen, but that the various villagers that have been attempting to escape, that have perished in the heat, have begun to rise again. Something is cursing this land, and it is something that we are not sure of the origin. There's been no change that we've been able to find.
What should I do?
Whatever you would like.
Well, Reina, of course, wants to help them. So, I guess she'll stay in the town for a little bit to help them out. Try her best to, like, help them and stuff like that. To get ready to fight this monster. Learn more about it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be an issue. As you are walking around town, you do see the occasional sort of like blue vested individual, as I had described earlier. They seem to be setting up makeshift barricades out of what little they have out of the wood from fallen palm trees, or out of woods from broken down wagons or carts, and things of that nature. But it doesn't appear like they really have a whole lot that they can do. They are strapped for resources as it is, but they are definitely short on food. If any food that you could hunt or provide would definitely be a help. They also always need people to check in on or take care of those that are ill or those that are injured, so they have always been more than happy to accept help there. So however you would like to help, you are free.
I would say she would help them hunt, even though this isn't really her, like, area. But she knows a lot about animals, so...
Okay, go ahead and make a survival check.
Oh. I was like...
It takes you the better part of the morning, almost going into the afternoon, but you are able to come back with, some sort of like basic horned rabbit meat, nothing particularly fancy. They have a brown pelt and sort of like deer-like antlers to them. You're able to come back with some rations that you were able to scavenge off of a caravan that didn't make it out of the town far enough. So you were able to collect what little was there, and you were able to make it back with that. It's not much, but the villagers are very appreciative. The Sultan's Guard that's been doing their best to keep the town alive are also very appreciative for what little they do have. Is any addition is a lifesaver for at least one person. And so, they thank you and ask you for if any increased help that you can provide. Of course, we're always thankful, but our goal is to try to keep as many as alive as possible. So we don't want you to put yourself too much in harm's way. If something happens that is too dangerous, please do not think that it is wrong for you to save yourself. And, with that, they go about their business, go back to reinforcing the town. They begin setting everything up. The rest of you, as you make your way into town, attempting to stay stealthy, it's a couple hours before where she currently is at, having done her hunting. But as you make your way in, the first thing you notice is the streets are relatively empty. You maybe occasionally see a blue-vested Sultan's Guard that seems to be doing something within the city, reinforcing barricades or trying to tend to an injured person or a sickly person. But beyond that, you don't see people traveling around. You don't see, any sort of like a merchant square or any sort of trade center open. Everything seems closed. All of the villagers seem to be keeping within their houses.
I do not believe it's necessary to really stealth here.
Yeah.
I don't
I do not-
expect any immediate danger.
Yes, I do not see any husks around. I do not see any hostility. If anything, it's probably dimmed down.
It seems very quiet.
That also kind of scares me a bit. Scaries. Shush. It scares me.
Should we ask around and see if we can find any information on our friend and these attacks?
Well, there doesn't even seem to be anyone out currently.
Well, there's
Go
gotta be
door to
people
door?
somewhere. Yeah, there's got to be people somewhere.
All right. Well, let's start walking around. Ow, I just smacked myself.
Can we, we can't hear, anything? Not even people, whispering or anything?
Do we see people like looking out their windows? Like,
Yeah. Any sign? Anything?
Alorn.
Oh, sorry. For some reason my mic wasn't picking me up. You're able to hear some people talking. You're able to hear the whisperings or the mutterings within their homes, but you don't clearly understand what they're saying. But there does seem to be people here. Not every house, however, seems to have people in it. Several seem abandoned. Several seem empty. But there is noise. There are human interactions being had within this town.
Is there any central location, any area where it seems like people are gathering, or does it just seem like everyone's in their home?
Seems like most everybody is confining themselves within their own homes.
Okay. Is this town kind of laid out to be like one long strip, or is it different, kind of circular, or
It looks
the
like
town?
the perimeter of the town is sort of a square. There is no defined fencing or wall that makes it an exact square or anything of the nature, but the houses seem to be laid out in a square-like shape. As far as is there any districts or segmented sections like previous towns that you've seen? No. The houses kind of appear to have been built whenever somebody needed a space. They built their house wherever was open, and people just continued to build around that. So there are some many small houses, but then there might be a slightly larger house in the middle of them. And then there might be a really large house surrounded by a bunch of other small houses. And it doesn't really seem to have much in the way of this is where the commoners were and this is where the guards were. It's more intermixed altogether.
Okay.
There also doesn't seem to be any sort of clear path or clear road between houses. There's not one center road that leads straight into the center of town. It's more of there's just spaces between houses, and eventually you would make your way to the center.
Okay.
and are there wells anywhere? Because they have to get water from somewhere.
Only thing you can think of as far as where water might be coming from would be the oasis that's more towards the back of the town.
Maybe we should start skirting along the edge of the town to see if we can find anyone or anything outside.
Yeah,
I
I don't
agree
think
with
we'll,
that.
I don't think we'll find anybody outside unless they absolutely have to be.
I know, but just saying. Seeing if there's any areas safer or with anyone with information willing to give it, rather than walking straight into somebody's home.
Yeah. Alright, let's go.
Alright.
Work.
Work. Right.
Right. Uh,
You make your way back towards the outskirts of town from where you were coming. Again, you are heading from the northwest southeast, so you are on the northwest portion of town currently. Make your way back outside of all the perimeter of all of the buildings, back to where it's just open sand in 3 out of 4 directions, and you start making your way along the perimeter. You can either head the south perimeter or the south along the west side of the town, or you can head east along the north side of the town. Which one do you want to do?
Uh, south.
okay. I was just about to say north.
Let's just leave.
Yeah, I'm saying
just
bye.
leave?
Let's just go.
Yeah, bye.
No, let's go south.
South.
Right.
I'm good with south.
You begin to make your way south, and as you head south along the outside of this town, you notice that the buildings are a little bit larger. They seem to be more of communal family dwellings or potentially storage like houses, as there seems to be some crates stacked up in one, where you hear more muttering than what you're used to in one of the houses as well. Before eventually you do come along, one of the people that is again in that blue vest that is in service to the Sultan, that appears to be sort of creating a wooden spiked barricade outside along that western wall of town, kind of digging them into the sand and packing the sand as best he can and pouring some water on it to wetten and try to cement it in place. But it's rough at best, and you don't know how effective this barricade will be. But that is his current task. And he is just working away. At this point, it is very hot in the day. The sun has kind of started to hit its peak. It's early afternoon, heat sun bearing down. There's very little shade even behind the houses as the sun is almost directly above it. So it's very hard to find a place to duck out of the sun for a bit. Brunine, you are definitely struggling at this point. It is very, very hot, and you gather in your armor. You won't have too much longer before it will affect your constitution.
Wonderful. I'm now
Uh,
taking this piece of armor off. Is what's running through Runine's head.
Yorglot's gonna walk up.
Nope,
Yorglot's
you're
gonna
fine.
walk up to one of the guards, and or it's the guard that was with the Sultan, color vest, and he's gonna ask him.
Excuse me, sir.
Is it a sir or is it a?
Mhm.
Excuse me, sir. We're travelers coming through, and we couldn't help but notice how empty the town looks. We were just wanting to try to get some shade from the sun. Is there a communal house or a tavern nearby?
He stands up, kind of looks at you warily, assesses your group, trying to determine whether or not he would think you're here for suspicious reasons or in something that could endanger the town. And while you definitely have suspicious people in your group, you don't strike him as bandits necessarily.
Weird, odd bunch.
Yeah.
I'm not shady at all. I don't know what you mean.
But he kind of looks you all over before I don't know if the tavern keep left earlier, but it is about 5 buildings down on your left. If you turn into town right here, should be the largest one that you see at the time. But yeah, the tavern keep might long be gone. He might still be there. I don't know. I don't know who left in the caravan this morning.
Oh,
Thank you very much. And one more question, or two more really. One, um, can you tell us what's happening at the oasis in the middle of town? We can see even from here the trees seem to be rotting or withering.
He sort of shrugs. It's the same, I would imagine, as why the sand is turning gray and black. I don't know the reason why, but I would imagine if the sand, rock is somehow dying, that would also be the reason why the plants are dying.
All right. Last question. Have you seen a small, elvish girl? Probably looks really lost and very shy, with a
And
baby bear.
I.
Ah, the hunter. Yes, I've seen her. She has been helping. You might be able to find her within the town. I don't know where she stays at nights, and I don't know if she stays in town or out of town, but she has been here the past few days.
Do you know where she frequents when she's in town?
Wherever she can find food, and if she can't find food or anything of the nature, then she tends to, ask for people to help her get out of the town or to find a new path. But it appears that the caravans have been leaving earlier than she's been able to make it to, so she is still here.
Thank you very much.
so she is still here.
From the sound of it.
She's somewhere. Just to find her, I guess. But I'm going to head towards that tavern so we can take a break.
I think that's the best
I'm
idea.
exhausted.
I would appreciate it very much.
Let's go.
I'm gonna try to like kind of lift up Runine's armor a little bit while she walks.
I thought it was like skin tight kind of
Oh,
armor.
it is, but like
It is very,
Figure formed.
yeah, like it is a very well formed to her figure armor. It is why it takes a while for her to take it on and off. But it is, it is still armor, so there is some amount that you can kind of like lift a little bit, but it's not so free as to where you could just lift it up like a shirt and have a breeze
Yeah.
coming under it.
I'll try my best to help.
Appreciate it.
Going to the tavern.
Yep. Bernine's wiping her sweat with her cloak.
You begin heading your way into the town, and it isn't long before you get far enough in, again, like 5 or so buildings back on the left, that you see one that is significantly larger and stands out from the rest of them. This one appears to be around 25 feet wide by about 40 feet long. It's small by comparison to what you're used to considering a house, but it is the most sizable one that you have seen to this point. And as you make your way up to it, again, no doors or windows on the building, and you look inside. There appears to be no candlelight within the establishment itself. It is dark inside because there is no sort of like hole in the roof for sunlight. It is simply what little sun manages to pour through the windows. With the sun being currently straight up, that's a lot less sun than potentially during the evenings or the morning. Immediately, you don't see anybody. Not, at least not from what you can tell from outside. But you do see lots of empty tables, the stools, a very sort of like rundown, kind of, aged wood, chipped. You can tell that it's been through its share or its fair share of bar fights, as there's parts of it that have broken or have been chipped off. It's worn and it's been repaired and repainted multiple times. And behind it, you see what appears to be sort of shelves with ales and things of the nature. But that's about it in the tavern. It does seem like a good reprieve from the sunlight.
Can we go and try to find how to get in?
The door.
I thought you said that there was no doors.
There's no
There's
like
no like
physical
door.
blocking.
Oh, it's just a
They're
walk-in.
just-
Okay.
Yeah, they're just halls.
Okay, sorry. I misinterpreted that.
That's fine.
Renee walks in.
Yeah, same.
Shade
Antonia,
at last.
I think it's good for us to at least take a break for a second. We've been walking for hours.
She starts drinking her from her water skin.
Yeah, Yorglot's gonna take a quick drink as well, and start looking around the tavern for any signs of survivors, and also like if there's a cellar or an upstairs, whatever have you, where people might be.
It appears that there is no like survivors within this tavern itself. There are no people here currently. There does not appear to be an upstairs. What you saw from outside seems far too small to have an upstairs floor. But as you're looking around, you do see what seems to be a rather obvious like cellar hatch that's behind the bar. And about maybe a minute or a minute and a half into your sort of like looking around your scan of the area and kind of just taking in the basics of it, an individual about 5'9", sort of tanned skin, wearing sort of like dark black sort of cloth. It's not quite like silken cloth, but it's also not cotton cloth, coming down from both like around her shoulders down past her chest, and then wrapping around her waist into sort of like a flowing dress that has both of the sides open, is walking in, and on her shoulders you can see a large sort of like wooden rod that has two large vases hanging from it that are, you can hear the sloshing of liquid in as she's carrying it into the tavern. I guess that's surprising. What can I do for you?
We were just finding a place for rest from the sun.
Shade. Oh, sorry.
You can, but yeah, and looking for somebody at the same time.
Oh, well, I mean, feel free, enjoy the shade. There's not a whole lot I can offer, but, it is a tavern, so it is a place for resting and getting off your feet after a long travel.
We appreciate it. By any chance, do you have a small elf girl who wanders in from time to time?
Occasionally, not often, more towards the evenings. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of food to spare, so after like the first day she showed up, she hasn't really came back that much, but in the evening, if there was any left, I give her whatever scraps that I can afford.
Alright.
Yorglot turns to the party and
Well, do you think we should wait here for a while we rest, see if she shows up, and go out looking again towards dusk when it might be a bit cooler?
He did say that she comes to look for food, and it doesn't seem like there's many places here that she could go. I think it's a safe bet to stay here.
Yeah, considering it's starting to heat up out there.
And out of curiosity, do we still have extra meat?
Yes, we have the snake meat.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was like wondering if it's still good.
We haven't really
Yeah,
checked.
it's good.
Yeah.
That it hasn't been that long. It's nearing its lifespan, but it's
Yeah.
not the point of rotted yet.
It's
Then-
been a while.
I think it's
Comparatively,
only been a
been
day.
like
Yeah, it's only been a day.
two-ish days.
Yeah, maybe a day and a
Like
half.
we
Well, we
last
got it before we went into the thing.
we
and
got
then
it before we got to the fort. We slept for a day at the fort, and then we're on the road. So it's technically a day and a half now.
Yeah, we have 1 deer ration and then 4 days of snake meat.
4 days of snake.
Yeah, 'cause we had thrown out all the deer meat that we had because it was about to go bad, and we
Yeah.
Oh,
replaced
right.
all of it with the snake meat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you guys don't mind sharing, we could give a bit of it.
Well, we don't really need much, so I
Yeah.
suppose.
I'm just hungry and would like to eat.
All right. I
I-
guess.
The meat.
Sit down. Who wants to cook? Or actually,
We could ask if she can
yeah,
cook.
yeah, I was about
The
to say,
tavern girl.
That's what I was about to do. Yorglot's gonna turn to the tavern girl, and take out a piece of, or like a wrapping of the snake meat, show it to her, and
Do you by chance know how to cook this well? We're not very well versed with this type of meat.
Oh, yeah, I can cook that if that's something that you would like me to do. Just give me a second. And she sort of squats down and sets the 2 sort of large vases that are filled with some form of a liquid behind the bar. And so you just want me to cook it? How much do you need cooked?
I think five rations worth. Yeah, you're cooking, so I feel it's only deserved you to eat with us. So
Thank you. Yes, that is something that I can do. Do you have a preference? Do you like your food very bland? Do you like it spicy? Do you like it sweet? Do you like it sour?
I prefer mine spicy if you have the spices.
Spices, we have. Very sour fruits,
Spicy.
we have.
I said spicy.
Sweets, less so. Actual food, like meats and breads, not so much.
Well,
You know, it's not exactly something that you live off of. You can't just like take a spoonful of like nutmeg and eat it and survive. You need something more substantial. So that is still around.
of course. I prefer mine spicy. I don't know how everybody else likes it.
I'll try some spice.
Perfectly good with
Why is it
spice.
spicy?
Spicy, spicy.
Why is it spicy?
Everything's going spicy?
All right. Well, give me, maybe 10, 15 minutes to cook it. I'll be downstairs in the kitchen.
Alright, I think we'll just be up here, taking a rest.
Can
Very well.
I do a perception check to see if the wood, like the darkened wood, doesn't remind me of Oh no, it's not wood, it's stone, isn't it?
sandstone. But I think that
The building is stone. The like bar itself is wood. The tables are wood. The chairs are wood.
Are they like darken? Or darkening?
If
Kind
you're
of like
asking if it's similar to the tavern that you saw back during the attack, no.
no. Okay.
When she does go to the kitchen, Yorglot's gonna like peek over the bar real quick to see if he can see what liquid is in the vases.
If you're peeking over the bar, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
If you were like actually going to the vases itself and like directly looking into it and like getting a really good look, then I would say you don't need to even roll. But if it's just a peek, then you need to roll.
18.
It seems to be a sort of like purplish, pinkish water.
Ooh,
Okay.
cactus
Is
juice.
like the same color as like the sand, or because wasn't the sand like shiny?
The sand is gray or black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The kitchen, is that like in the back or is that like downstairs?
Downstairs, from what you can tell.
So she's like has no sight on us from what I know.
Currently, correct, yes.
Alright, I'm gonna go
Oh.
around the bar with one of my vials and I'm gonna scoop up a little bit of the liquid
Easy enough.
and then go sit down at one of the tables and try to identify.
Time to put the what is it? The monocle.
Yep, the monocle.
Okay. Sorry.
You can-
Okay, sure. You're
Oh,
gonna need to roll an Arcana check for this, though.
oh shit. Okay. Dope.
Is there? Wait,
Fuck.
I'm.
10.
What you're able to gather is the primary portion of this you identified is water.
Okay.
Whatever else is in there, it's not water. It should not be there, but Identify didn't pick it up because it's too small.
I mean, I guess it's the best water that they can get currently.
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
cactus
so
juice.
are we the only ones in the tavern? Sorry,
As far as you're aware.
I don't like that. Okay.
What do you mean you don't like that? You have us.
Like Yorglot, unless something happens, Yorglot's just going to chill until the food is ready.
Yeah.
Does it look like there's upstairs or anything?
Upstairs, no. Downstairs, yes.
Oh, okay.
And you know she is currently downstairs.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like that big of a area, right? Or is it?
From what you can tell on this floor, it is not that big of an area.
Okay.
How
Then
many
I'll just, like-
tables?
Maybe 5, 10.
Hmm.
Some depends on whether or not you count like sections of a table to be like they could split, but they're currently pushed up together to make one table.
Ah.
So, like, you could have 10 tables if need be, but currently it's more like a total of 7. But if you combine the 2 that are split, then you could get it down to 5.
Hmm.
Technically, if you really wanted to be clever, you could combine them all and have one giant table.
Well then. Okay.
They're very basic. Like they're just small wooden squares that are standing off the floor.
I see. Well, now that I'm in the shade, I feel much better, right? Or it's
Still hot, but it is significantly cooler in the shade.
Okay.
Maybe we should work on getting you some more suitable armor for where we are.
I do not know how suitable for combat I would be if I wore less.
Enough.
But in all honesty, maybe we should travel through the night rather than through the day.
Yes.
But remember, we were told that that can be, or, oh wait, never mind. He said that it would be more dangerous during the day. I'm being dumb, never mind.
Yeah,
I
it'd be
retract my
easier at
statement.
night with the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Does anyone want to go searching for Reina, or should we just wait?
I think it's the safest bet to wait here.
I think we should at least wait for the food, and if not, then we can go after. I think it would be
That's fair.
stupid.
All right.
Yorglot's waiting.
Yep. We are awaiting for our foods.
About 17-ish minutes pass before she returns back upstairs, having some very, like, thinly filleted strips of snake that have been cooked now, and you can smell a very pungent aroma of spice that has sort of like a very harsh, red, peppery, almost curry-like spice to it. And it has sort of like, it's gone from its sort of like pinkish color to its more, golden brown cooked color, but you can tell that the spice has also added a tinge of red to the meat itself.
Oh boy.
She places each plate in front of you. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is gonna be the death of me.
Digging in. Digging in.
Yep.
I'm absolutely devouring my plate.
And then go, because it's so hot.
Trying to think. Yeah, none of you are really from regions that have high spice. Yorglot, you do the best as you have been traveling for a while. It is hot. It like the sheer amount
Oh
of
boy.
spice gives your mouth a heat that is reminiscent of fire, and it is very, very
Oh.
spicy.
Shit.
The rest of you, it gets to the point where your tongue kind of starts to go a little bit numb and you can't really talk. It's very difficult to sort of like eat it all and swallow, but it's good, it's edible, but for those of you that are less used to it, it feels like you're about to like somehow become a dragon and start breathing fire with how hot your mouth has become.
I predicted that.
Is it hot in here?
I mean, yeah, it's spicy, but guys, come on. I think you're overreacting a little bit.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm perfectly fine.
This is water?
Yorglot's gonna look at the lady and
That's very good. This rivals even food from where I come from.
Water.
Levels of spice.
Water.
I'm glad you appreciate it. She seems to be doing fine, by the way. She is very used to this spice.
Oh yeah, she's devouring it too with us.
I'm gonna reach in my bag and grab that expensive alcohol I got and just like take
no.
a swig.
no.
Oh no.
Aries doesn't know how alcohol works.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No, like
This is gonna add
she's in
it to
pure
it.
agony. She just wants any liquid to try to get it to like go away.
It's not gonna go away,
It
right?
would make it worse.
Of course not.
It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, of course not. Do you think she's smart? No. She has an intelligence of +0.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then you have Reina that is a -2.
As you start sort of like taking a swig of this alcohol, the burn of the alcohol combined with the spice, and the spice not really being diluted, like it's not a consistency like milk or something that would dilute the spice. Instead, it's more like swishing water, and so it's just now coated every part of your mouth and throat. And now it's like every breath you take feels like you're now inhaling fire.
I just slam my face down on the table and just like Just bracing for the pain to end.
That was not a wise choice. Fuck. That was not a wise choice. I'm like trying to make it so that my tongue is numb. I can't roll R's when my tongue is numb.
Okay.
Drena, while you are in town and you're looking around helping, it's not long before you get a very distinct spicy cooking smell that's wafting through the air at this point. It is easy to notice in the town currently because there is a significant lack of any other smell of cooking or food in general. So as you sort of pass by, you can very distinctly smell what you know to be cooking.
Yes, of course she's gonna follow it.
Food?
A
Big
little
food.
bit later, it leads you to the large open tavern, and you can hear the familiar sounds of some panicked voices and sound of somebody that's somewhat familiar. You've talked to her a couple times since you've came to this town, the tavern lady, but not, something that you would recognize from a mile away. But there's a strange familiarity to the voices coming within, and the smell is coming from within as well.
She creeps her head in there just to like peek and see who's in there. Like she approaches it like pretty cautiously.
You're right. You fuck. I almost started talking in my kobold voice for a second there. You weren't supposed to drink alcohol with spice. It's not good.
Oh, that's very helpful now.
Do you have a water skin or something? Drink some water.
Renine cans Gothra her water skin.
I just start gulping down water.
And it's probably gonna be
Furiously.
empty now.
Mm.
Let's take that.
Yorglot kind of gives a little chuckle at how stupid Aries looks.
Shut up.
All three of you, really, because all three of you are like on the floor, fucking dying.
Well, Bowser hasn't said how he's doing.
I'm just kind of handling it as best I can.
My tongue's just hanging from my mouth. Like, I can't feel my tongue.
I'm just in panic mode.
Do we notice a head peek from the doorway or no?
That depends on if she's trying to stealth. If she is, then she needs to roll stealth. If she's just poking her head in normally, then yes, you would notice.
Let's just do normal.
Okay, then yes, you do notice a head peeking in from the door.
And halfway with a bite of food in his mouth, Yorglot looks over and sees her and sitting, whoever he's sitting next to, I assume it's like Renine or somebody.
Yeah, probably.
He slaps their arm and points over to the doorway, still chewing
Huh?
his food.
Eh? Hi! Hi, Reina! Talking with not using your tongue is actually relatively hard.
Rena, nice to see you.
Reina remembers from the last time they met her, and she becomes wide-eyed, and she remembers the long-eared bunny girl that she hid behind, and she squeals happy and then runs to them.
Hi. Are you like hugging me or something?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Sounds like you.
I'm honestly shocked you recognized us.
I can only imagine Eris's ears are like so drooped.
Yeah. God.
It seems. I mean, I she kind of was ganged up by people. Man, it's really hard to talk.
Drink some water. It helped me a little, at least.
Now, is the
You're
food all
you're
eaten?
welcome for my water. Sorry, what?
Is the food all eaten? Like,
I think like Runian would have like 1/3 left.
Yorglot's eating his plate.
I'm sure he
have-
is.
He didn't have as much trouble.
do you care if I join you guys?
Not at all.
Not at all.
It kind of hurts though.
I hand Renine my water skin.
Oh, switchies.
Yeah, we're switching.
I imagine Malvar's character like sitting there perfectly normally eating, but his entire body. Well, he's already red. Fuck. He's
No, he turns purple. He turns purple.
he's got steam coming out of his ears, like and he's trying to be a big man.
Sweating
about
blood.
I am doing a-okay, guys.
it.
I love how you're like fire resistant, but like you can't handle spice.
That is true.
Would fire resistance even help in spices?
I don't
No.
think no, but I love how he's like heat resistant, but like spice. Too much.
Well, Reyna, do you know anything that's happening in this town? Why everything is dying?
Wait, doesn't she know, like, the creature? What was it again?
Yeah, you know of the sort of like snake-like creature. It's got 4 legs that it walks on, has a larger body, but then comes up to a cobra-like head with a fan, with 2 large fangs and emerald green eyes, and then a very long tail.
I feel like she would describe what she knows about the monster while eyeing the food.
Renin drinks some of Eris's water, not entirely. Are you good with spices, Rena?
Spice?
We still have more meat if it's needed.
Spice? What's spice?
Oh, right. Do not eat that then. Miss, what is your name? She looks towards the tavern person.
Milda?
Milda, could you make a plain cooked deer meat for our friend here?
Deer meat. You gave me snake meat.
Oh, sorry. Snake meat. That was me. Me, the player, being stupid.
Yes, I can.
Please do.
Thank
She
you.
waits for somebody to give her more snake meat.
I hand her a ration of snake meat.
I'll be right back.
Since Yorglot's done, he's gonna get up and follow her.
Do you mind? I just have some questions to ask, that's all.
Sure. It's fine by me.
And walks with her downstairs.
As you go with her to the sort of like hatch, it is a ladder that goes straight down. And as it goes underneath the ground, it opens up. One, it feels a lot cooler beneath the open-aired upper floor, and you are now below the sand, and it is not as hot. you are able to see that it is a much larger and much more open room down here as well. There's a large section for storage, there's a large kitchen, there appears to be a couple other individualized rooms, though again, still no doors on the entryways to them, but it is at least sectioned off into multiple sections. She makes her way over to the kitchen, and you watch as she strikes a flint and steel to sort of light a fire-based stovetop.
Well, we appreciate you cooking for us and letting us stay in your tavern. I wanted to ask a couple questions. One, where do you guys get water around here in the middle of the desert?
The Oasis.
The oasis, alright. And how has this blackening effect on the land affected the water, if at all?
It is purple pink.
It turns it purplish pink.
That's about all I know about it.
Alright. Is that what was in the vases you brought in when we first met you?
Yes, I was just returning with some water.
And this monster that everybody talks about, does anybody know if it lives in the town somewhere, or if it just comes in at night or during the day and leaves?
Kind of varies. Seems to hunt most at night, but it is active during the day as well. It depends. We didn't see it last night, so odds of it showing up tonight are somewhat high.
Is there a congregation of where the Sultan Lagads from Antir have located themselves, or
Not really sure.
sorry, I don't mean to pester you. We're just new in town, and we're trying
No,
to
that
help
is
out when
fine.
we can.
It's not really something that I ask a lot about. I don't have any ability to control it. I can cook, I can serve food. I used to be able to throw a couple ruffians out, but in terms of fighting monsters or, being able to control anything about what all has been going on, it's all a bit past my ability. So, in order to try not to be depressed, I've stopped asking questions.
Alright. Well, I appreciate it. If there's anything you need us to do or need help with, I'm sure we'll be glad to help. Are these rooms down here open? Or should we find an abandoned building or something?
It's up to you. You are free to stay here if you need. I'm sure there are abandoned buildings that you can stay in, but I don't know how safe they'll be.
Alright. Thank you very much. I'm gonna head back up and talk with my group.
Of course, she begins filleting the snake meat at this point now that your questions are done and starts focusing on cooking.
Okay. And Yorglot's gonna go back upstairs and walk up to the group and ask,
So, what do we want to do here? We found Reyna. Sorry. Do we want to leave or try to help out the town?
Well, I mean, I personally would like to try to help, but it almost seems like this town may not be recoverable like the previous town we were in. Sorry, village.
I think we should start with the oasis. Milda said that this water,
And he pulls out the glass vial he has of the water.
this is their water source from the oasis. Whatever has happened with the sand has turned their water a purplish color. And when I was looking at it earlier, I couldn't identify anything, but I could tell that there was something arcane in nature about it, something else in there.
Hmm.
I think it would be good for us to investigate the oasis.
Rena, you've been here for a while. Have you seen anyone acting strange or anything happening to people who drank the water? Do you think?
Well, I've seen a lot of people sick and dying. Like old people. Right?
Yeah, you've seen the people that seem more vulnerable to ailments that are not doing so well, that have been falling sick, and some have died.
Yeah. So I second that we go to the oasis.
I'm fine with going to the oasis.
I'd like to figure out what's going on as well.
But after we eat then. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
And I recommend trying to not drink the water if you can. I know we have a limited supply of water, but
Brittany looks at her water flask.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, she hands you back your water skin that still kind of has like half of it.
I have alcohol.
Probably should refrain from drinking
That would
and be
our
sober.
last result.
Alright,
Or resort.
fair enough.
Would be better to be, in the right of mind when dealing with danger.
Fair enough.
Yorglot's gonna wait until everybody's done eating then.
I'm done.
About 10 minutes later, she comes back up with the regularly prepared sort of portion of snake and places it in front of Reyna.
There you go. Now you can eat.
How was Reyna dressed, by the way? Hello, Midi?
Me?
Did your internet go out?
And maybe, well, I'm still up.
Don't know.
Maybe she AFK'd slightly.
Yeah, she might have.
Alright, well
Okay.
then never mind. It's not that
Oh,
important.
wait.
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Well,
She back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Welcome back.
welcome back.
I'm so sorry. I should have said something.
You're all good.
We're all good.
You're fine.
I had just asked what Reyna was dressed in. Like, is she still in like a cloth?
Yep.
Like when we met her?
Oh boy.
Renee, do you still have those clothes you had bought for Reyna? Back at Mishla.
I don't think I officially bought any clothes for her because she left. Yeah, I don't have any clothes. I have it.
Well, didn't she take off the clothes? Because I thought we got her clothes and then she took them off and then went back into the woods.
We were trying out clothes, but then she decided that she didn't want them. So I never bought them officially. I do have the spare cape.
Yes,
though.
I have a cloak. Yeah.
I mean, I have my spare chainmail, but I do not believe that would fit her, nor will it cover much.
I have my plain black cloak, if that could help.
Rena then shakes her head. No. It's too restricting.
Fair enough. I would understand as well. If I wasn't raised the same, I think I would be in your position as well.
While people are eating, actually no, never mind. Yorgot's just gonna wait until everybody's done eating.
Yeah.
Your food has been brought up, by the way.
Rena then scarfs it down. Because I'm actually eating. IRL.
Yeah. It isn't much. It doesn't last a very long amount of time, but it is very filling. It is more substantial than you've had in a while. And it is gone before you really even know what happened. But it is the best food you've ate in a while.
Bless you.
Are
So
we
we
ready
start
to...
heading. Yeah.
Are we ready to head to the oasis then?
I'm
Oh, sorry, I
hungry.
was muted. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yee.
Bilda, we appreciate your hospitality. We'll probably be back either for more wonderful cooking or bed. But either way, we'll probably see you either later today or tomorrow.
You be safe.
You as well.
Yorgot gets up and walks out of the tavern.
I follow.
You okay? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just had sneezes. That's fine. Alright, you make your way out of the tavern and back into the heat of the day. At this point, it is now going on around 1:30 to 2 in the afternoon, and it is hot. Especially for Runin, who is currently in plate armor and heavily garbed. It is sweltering, and if it weren't for the reprieve of the shade, you feel like it would be too much for you to handle, but you know that this is not going to last long. But it is currently within reason, just because you currently had a bit of a break to cool off your body temperature. You begin making your way towards the oasis as a group, and as you make your way over there, the town seems to be a little bit more lively. There seems to be more people
Wait, I was muted?
that are making their way to the oasis with vases on their shoulders that are coming back with filled jugs of this water. Some of the guards, like the blue-vested Sultan's guards, seem posted at the oasis, keeping an eye on things. They're currently just standing there at various points, watching, making sure that there's no quarrels or struggles between people, and also seem to be keeping note of who has came and gathered
You were
water.
saying you were muted. My bad.
While we're walking there, do I see any like empty vases just in the street or next to people's houses, or buckets, or?
You see several broken ones and a couple that are intact, but more broken than intact ones.
Okay. Yorgot's gonna go over and grab the smallest vase he can find. That's intact.
Easy enough. You find one that's about maybe the size of like a foot tall pot.
Okay. And continue walking to the oasis.
Oh, we're stealing now?
Wait,
Are
what
you
did he
saying
do?
these?
Mm-hmm.
How would that be stealing?
Just taking a vase.
On the
I
floor?
see to be abandoned.
I mean, most things are abandoned if people aren't touching it.
Am I wrong?
But yeah, starts walking towards the oasis again.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way to the oasis, and there's, like I said, there's a good number of people that are coming to fill up their water. They seem to be taking whatever spot is open around this pool of purplish pink water, kneeling down, filling up their vases. Some appear to be splashing a bit of it on their face, trying to wash off the sweat or clean themselves up, but for the most part, it seems like people are using it to fill up these vases that they bring.
Is there anything that shows how this oasis stays an oasis? Like, it keeps its water? Whether it's, like, rain or there's an underwater system or...
Can we
like a
even
river
see
beneath
through
it?
the water to tell that?
It is a see-through purplish pink. Um, Go ahead and make a survival check, I'll say. See if you can determine that. It's not readily apparent. It's not like there's something feeding into it. So more than that will take like a knowledge glance at it.
14?
It does not appear that it is any form of like a rain well or anything of the nature, because it does not appear to have any signs of, water flow from off of the dunes that come down into here during the rainy season. And it's in a flatter section of the desert, so it's not like would be where rain would just naturally gather. So you would gather that if it's not rain, then it's likely some form of an underground system.
Okay. Well, Yorglot's gonna go over to an empty spot and dip the vase in the oasis and pick up a good bit of water.
Have you been able to inspect the sand at all?
No, I haven't. I was planning on grabbing some vegetation as well. The sand's a bit more readily available everywhere, so.
Alright.
Which, speaking of which, he's gonna go over to one of the plant fronds. Is it only palm trees, or they're like...
There are bushes and shrubbery as well.
Does it look like that's dying at all, or is it like?
Yes, every plant looks like it is dying.
Okay.
He's gonna go
So
over
look,
there
it-
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Sorry, I actually coughed so hard that I slightly lost my voice a little bit. Is it look very similar to how the town was dying? Like with the husks and everything? From Mishla? Sorry. Wow.
No, it does not look like anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
But he's gonna go over, snap off a twig of one of the bushes.
Okay.
And pocket that.
Okay.
And yeah, go anywhere with there's shade. And whether there's little overhangs or whether it's
Best
an abandoned
spot is going to be a building to try to find shade.
building. Okay. And any building that looks abandoned and it's just like a husk of a sandstone building, he's just gonna go over to sit in shade while he...
Can Reyna, like, because she's pretty good at, like, knowing about plants and stuff, can she... Well, she knows a lot about, like, things in the wilderness. Can she, like, sniff it and, like, taste it? Water? And
Oh.
is there...
Sure. Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Okay.
Damn!
Damn!
Oh, dang.
She rolled a 21.
Okay. In terms of the plant, you gather that it is due to absorbing like nutrition that is not good for it. It has absorbed some form of a like mineral or essence that's within the soil that is not sustainable for the plant, and it tried to process it like it was food, but it instead just wound up killing it. The water, as you kind of taste it, smartly enough to only maybe just do a couple drops and taste it, instinctively, not really sure what it is, but instinctively, with that sort of like primal nature that you have, are able to identify that this is not safe to drink. There's definitely something to this water that, if consumed in a large enough quantity, is going to have some form of an effect.
Oh boy.
Well, while they're doing that, and Yorglot's in his building, he's not gonna do a identify so much as he wants to check both of them for any kind of arcane traces. The vase, he'll grab a bit of sand from outside, and the twig.
Okay, so identifying the vase and the twig.
Not
Um,
not identifying, but more, unless you want to do identify, because he's looking specifically more for magic than he is identifying the item. But I
just
don't know
seeing if
you
it
do
is
that.
magical.
Or if it has any kind of magic in it, or however you
Um,
do that. If you want to just make it identify, then
well, so identify would tell you if it is a magic item or not, because if it doesn't identify it beyond a normal amount, then it's not a magic item. If you're looking for like what kind of magic it is, you would be looking more for detect magic. And if you're just like, is this a magic thing, then an arcana check would suffice, but then you would just get a yes or a no reply.
okay, then sure, I'll identify all three of them. Or not all three of them, not the water, but the twig and the sand.
Okay.
Because I already did the water.
So
22 minutes.
Yep. So casting identify, you focus which one first, twig or sand?
We'll do twig.
As you cast identify on it, you do not get any sort of like how to use or like this is what this magic item is. You simply get that it is what kind of a shrub did you grab? Let's see. Just roll a d4 here. Okay. You kind of got like a branch from a desert tumbleweed that had gathered over time, and it is since fell to rest and broke in and kind of got caught in the shrubbery. But you just gather that is a traditional tumbleweed, nothing different. That it is dead from unordinary means, but it is not magical in and of itself. There is no magical essence to it. The soil, however, casting identify on it, again, it's not like it's a magic item or a material in itself, but it's definitely been afflicted with something, and identify picks up some traces of magic, but not to the point where it's like there's an origin of a spell, but instead it seems like more there's just some form of a magical wellspring or a magical source that has permeated into the soil of this desert.
Okay. Well, that was 22 whole minutes, so if you guys have something you want to do during that.
I'm just doodling in the stand with my walking stick.
Waiting for Yorglot.
Just from the distance.
bed on the floor.
Well,
Okay. Well, I was thinking of maybe doing a survival check on like maybe the trees, or is that a nature check?
It depends on what you're trying to look for.
Trying to see if it's dying from a lack of source, or it's a source of water, or frick. Not knowledgeable in plants.
I just need to know what you're trying to check for.
I'm a botanist.
Just trying to figure
guys.
out how this tree is dying.
Okay.
Is that survival or nature?
I'd say you could roll either, though traditionally survival is probably more suiting for what you're trying to get at. But again, it depends on what information you specifically want.
I want survival.
Okay.
Alright.
That looked like a tilted dice, but apparently it still counted. 13.
Okay. Looking at the tree, you can't really gather from a glance what is killing it. It seems like a good enough hunch that likely whatever has turned the water purple or pink is not good for the plant. And also the fact that the sand is black and gray is also probably not a good sign for the tree. But you don't know if that's the direct cause or if they're all caused by something else.
I give up. I do not know too much about plants. Ooh, do you guys want to just go back to where Yorglot is?
I'm cool with that.
Alright.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Reyna? Did you actually like tell us about what the water was?
No, but yes. She's going to. You can right now.
I was going to ask, are you okay from, drinking a little bit of that water?
I just tried it. It's a couple drops, so it's alright. I seem to notice it's with a lot of it, it can really hurt you. The water
Noted.
seems dangerous.
Well, I kind of figured by its color.
So don't chug it.
Don't drink it. Period.
Probably a last resort.
Should we tell the people?
I mean, what could they possibly do?
It seems to be their only source of water.
Yes.
They could find a way to purify it? Is there even
Does
a
anyone
way?
in this party have abilities to purify water? I do not.
Let me check.
I don't think I do.
Or create water, purify water. It's quite not my forte, at least.
But
We could boil it? Maybe.
we could try that, but from what I gleaned from looking at the sand, the water, and the plants, something magical is distorting the water and the sand, and the plants have definitely been affected by this tainted water. Whatever it is didn't affect the plants directly, but more the land itself and the water. Well, I don't know what.
Do I know historically, or from my background of magic, know what kind of magic usually goes with death? I mean, obviously, like, I don't know how to word what I'm trying to
Like
say.
any harming type effects for anything?
Like, would I
Kevin.
be able to differentiate poison from something necrotic in magic?
Well, so poison is not a school of magic where necromancy and necrotic is. Poison can exist in necromantic magic, but it can also exist in other forms as well, within different schools, where necromantic magic falls under necromancy, generally speaking. So as far as determining whether or not this is a necromantic effect, that would be something that you could potentially try to figure out. Whether or not this is poison is something else, but they're two completely different, like if you were to do research, it's two completely different tests that you would run on trying to figure out what the school is of the magic versus trying to figure out like what the damage type, for example, would be.
Okay, yeah, I know he wouldn't know anything about poison, so yeah.
Oh, it's
that-
not entirely true.
Would I
No.
know anything?
Oh, actually, what am I talking about? What the fuck?
I would.
I'm an idiot. But I'm focusing on. Sorry.
Yeah!
It's like the biggest thing in my backstory. And I completely
Idiot.
spaced it. Like,
Wait, you too?
but yeah. What would I be able to do to test for if this was some kind of necrotic disease that was like plaguing? Or would I be able
You could try to affect it with anything radiant and see if there's an effect.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, go for it.
This is gonna be great. Okay.
Okay, is this gonna scare like half the town? Because if so, maybe don't. No!
That is. I don't really have any like low key spells.
Okay,
No.
well, then wait,
This is
dog.
gonna be. Oh boy.
I mean,
Yorglot, before you do anything rash, let's just realize the situation at hand.
You know,
Unless
God,
I-
how many people is this gonna kill?
Well, unless you'd let me do like a small little radiant arcane trickle, the only thing that I can really do, it's like, is a pretty.
I'd say
big...
go ahead and roll an Arcana check to see how well you can control your magic to be less than what the spell allows.
Okay.
So-
Fuck. 9?
You get the feeling your magic's not exactly yours to control yet.
If I do it, I go all out. Okay.
Yeah. Well, especially because your class in particular, the magic isn't per se yours.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Alright, we should probably,
Destruction! Sorry.
we should probably find somewhere
No.
away from people to test this.
Again, alright.
And here we go.
Uh-oh.
Yorglot's gonna start heading to the edge of town.
Oh my God.
With his twig, the water, and well, there's just fucking sand everywhere, so he doesn't need the sand. But
Bruh.
Oh dear God. I follow because I'm like, what kind of thing is he gonna do now?
Okay.
I
Explosion?
follow, but I stay a very cautious distance.
Yeah, I
You know
follow.
what?
Also.
You know what? You saying that kind of reminded me of the anime of Wise Man's Child. We're gonna put a barrier and at a distance.
So yeah.
I hide behind a rock to stay safe. Hopefully.
Closest thing to a rock you can find is Runine.
Oh, okay.
We're at the edge of town, so
I hide directly behind Yorglot. Like, directly. Just like
Oh, you're
peering
gonna-
through his legs, trying to figure out what's going on. I'm gonna die.
And I'm behind
Dang.
Rainy.
After seeing Yorglot's last spell that he cast, I say a good ways back.
Hmm.
Good luck!
okay. So
I have a feeling I know what you're doing, so
Yeah.
if you're doing the one that needs you to roll, go ahead and roll to see if you even get the right type.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Oh, his
This-
breath thing
this
again.
Might, this might be a multiple. Okay.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna have to explain.
Uh-oh,
Sorry, guys, he
video.
puked.
I'm in the splash zone.
No, if you're directly behind him, it is not.
I'm close to his feet.
Okay, great. It's radiant. It's radiant.
Okay.
Okay, and what kind of radiant? It is a cone or a line?
It is a 5 by 30-foot line. or
Okay,
15
and
foot
did you
cone.
set the items in a line, or did you prepare them in a cone?
No, I set them like side by side. So it's the water, the twig, and then like a group of sand, like set from left to right.
Okay, so you're only going to get one of them then, basically.
Well, it says 5 by 30-foot line or 15-foot cone. So can I choose which one it is, or?
If that one specifically says or, then yes. Otherwise, it's the. Let me look.
All of them have an or, blah blah blah, line or cone.
Okay, then yeah. You could do a cone if you want, and hit all three.
Then yeah, 15-foot cone.
Okay,
See
go
how
ahead
the-
and roll damage.
Okay.
Oh,
You just-
Damage.
You just see,
You're just gonna destroy it.
Yeah.
you just see Yorglot take this huge breath and lets out 9 points of radiant damage.
Wow.
Damn.
All right. So
Yeah.
as he takes this deep breath, you see a sort of like a white light build up in the open portion of his mouth before slowly, like this rolling, purifying, radiant fog just disperses out in this 15-foot cone, covering the three items in front of him. And as the fog disappears and the breath finishes, the stick has been reduced to what appears to be ash. There is a 15-foot cone of sand that appears to be a yellowish brown normal sand again. And the jar has broken, but the water that has soaked into the sand appears to be normal sand. Or normal water, rather.
Wait, so he actually fucking purified the water?
Yes. Well, maybe we don't know, but
Is that what spice does to you?
Yo, what?
Oh, this is
Yo, dude.
as we on a good day.
You know, I would love to see a tiny little animation. Yorglot
Literally
throwing that
just
beam, and then
fire in the laser.
Eris is
just,
like-
in 2 seconds.
Fire my laser. Bah.
Rainy's like wide-eyed, thinking he's a dragon.
Well, that's that, I guess.
he kind of picks up. He picks up some of the normal sand, and he wants to identify. I know it take 11 minutes, but
Yeah, it comes back as sand.
Wait, so what was the point of you destroying the stick and doing whatever you did to the water?
It proved to be that this is some kind of necrotic curse, I guess you could say, on the land and on the water. Whatever is in that water and in this sand is the exact opposite of holy and radiant light. It's evil, necrotic.
Oh.
It's not good for this town. If we want to help people here, the two biggest things, is what it sounds like, is this monster and finding a way to cure their water of this disease.
Did whatever you do cure it?
What it looks like, I can't very well extract the water out of the sand, but
Question. Did he hit the grayish tint of sand with his beam? Did
It was like a fog that rolled over the 15-foot cone.
Did it purify the sand
I-
too?
Said that there was a 15-foot cone.
Oh yeah, you did. Never mind. Sorry.
So there's just this.
Thank you for the
50-foot
follow.
cone of sand that's normal
Normal.
sand in this black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of
Thank you.
Jeez.
So, how many times can you do that?
as many times as I want. But every time, I don't get to choose. It's dangerous either way, but I don't get to choose whether or not I have a holy fog or evil one.
I do not have anything that is divination. So,
Well, you're specifically looking for radiant, not
oh,
divination.
radiant. Sorry.
Well, can we at least see if it helped with water at all?
I can pick up the wet sand and try, but if I identify that, I feel like it's probably just gonna come back as wet sand. But I can try. I'll do identify on the wet sand specifically.
Rena seemed to know, but I don't know how. I wasn't paying attention.
I also wasn't there when she did her survival stuff, so I have no idea what she did, what she knows. So if you ask Yorglot that, he's just gonna go over and pick up the sand.
Okay.
Anyhow, regarding the sand, from Identify, it comes back as sand. It doesn't even come back as wet sand or water and sand, just sand.
If I wanted to check water specifically, I'd probably have to get it in some container that wouldn't be destroyed by.
With the now, I think, 3 or so additional Identifies plus walking out of town, you're now at by the way, 3 o'clock total in the afternoon throughout the day, nearing the heat of the day, and it's about 115 now.
Jesus.
I think it'd be good to go back inside and take a rest for a while.
Hold on, is Renine visibly I
She
guess
is sweltering.
yeah. Okay.
She's what? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dying.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
sweltering in this heat.
Yeah. I'm sweating like a mess.
Renine, you might want to go back into the shade.
Yeah, let's go back.
Whatever gave you that idea?
How about we go
You
back
could
into town?
probably
We'll see if I
go
can't
and
get some
hire
water
containers.
We'll see if I can't get some of the water from the tavern lady, and I can continue experimenting there in the shade.
Well, just don't blow a hole through the roof of the tavern, please.
Yeah.
Aye.
My breath is less of a beam of destruction and more a poisonous gas of either radiant or necrotic effect.
Wait, so
Okay,
you have,
my
50,
ass. I
50?
just saw you destroy a shit ton of stuff just then. You cannot tell me that that's safe.
Anyways, shall we go?
Yeah.
Yorglot's gonna start heading back to the tavern.
Follow.
Okay.
Reyna suggests Renine should take off her clothes.
I think we all should take off our clothes.
I'm not doing that.
I do not believe that is a wise choice. In case we get attacked.
They went with nature. You remember what that lady told us?
Speaking of nature,
Oh.
Alorn, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Answer.
Would my shield's ability work out here in the desert?
No, because it's not fertile land, right?
You don't know.
I would like to try to make my shield work.
Okay.
Well, everything's dying around you anyway, so probably even if it could, it won't. Or they'll
Well,
die.
so that's not entirely true because it would work on a volcano where the plant that he grows shouldn't grow. It just plants have to be able to grow there. Doesn't necessarily mean that the plants he grows has to be able to grow there. You'd begin to leave footprints of the plants that the attunement of your shield is for. The sand itself does not appear to have been changed, but there are plants there. They seem to be alive for now, but they also haven't had that much time to drink from the soil or eat any of the nutrition from the minerals in the soil. So you don't know if they will stay alive. But your shield does work out here.
Hog. Okay.
But it's not healing the ground.
Yeah. So from what I can tell, though, at this very moment, the sand isn't having a direct effect on the way they grow. Correct?
Not currently.
Okay.
No, once we get back to the tavern, if
Oh.
nothing happens.
Uh,
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go.
I was just gonna ask if we could take a break because I gotta use the restroom. and
Oh,
leave.
no problem. We can take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, break time.
We can do break
Characters are
time.
Break
Characters are
time.
resting, players resting,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll be
It's
right
really
back.
warm in this room.
Opposite here.
Really? This feels really nice to me.
My
you have a
room is
Fan blowing on
bright.
you.
Blowing on the wall.
Still, you got airflow over on your side. I don't.
There's another fan you can have.
Cold. I like the cold.
Both
No
fans are on your
goblin.
side.
Goblin
One's
cave.
not even plugged in.
Exactly.
It's not my fault you've been too lazy to get up and grab a fan.
Oh,
Whoa.
what a
whoa,
caring
whoa.
husband.
Ida says take the fan.
Yeah, take the fan.
Yes, take the fan.
Ida
Steal it
says
from
take
him.
the fan.
Steal it from him. He doesn't deserve it.
She's already taken the fan.
Steal all of them.
You're in the heat.
Make Alorn suffer. Actually, don't, because then he'll be angry and kill us.
Must keep DM cool enough to not
to
lose
not
his
kill.
cool, to not kill
To not
us
do
all.
party wipe, please.
Okay, I'm back.
It's immersive
Yeah.
because we're in the desert, you know.
Yeah.
That is true. Be one with the heat.
One with the
Never.
heat. Yeah.
Never. I hate the heat so much.
Yeah, I know.
I love how the two most cat-like people here are the ones that hate the heat the most right now.
There's a
Disgusting.
certain level of heat that I can take.
Listen, I'm a lizard dog. Actually. Wait.
Oh, yeah, technically.
Most-
Wait.
But you were a cat in game, though.
Oh,
I am a
so
cat game as well.
yeah, you gotta keep being a cat.
Alright. Here.
I love how if you know the model or the position of my character model for the Discord image, you know that I'm like punching Apollyon upside the head right now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oof.
Oh wait, speaking of punching,
What?
Mitty, while you're here, I have to ask.
Wait.
Would you like to be in my game?
What game?
So I'm making a FAMDOA fighting game.
I'm down.
And huh?
Down. She's down.
Pause. Let's go. Easy money. Okay. What?
You
how
say
much?
easy money, but you have to make all this.
Yeah, you have to make
Yeah,
it first.
I'm
And
aware.
it's not easy at all. Like,
Not at
I'm
all.
very
It's
much
probably gonna take
aware.
years just to
yeah.
Not-
give that out there.
I'm actually
I'm-
friends with some devs, so I can
Oh shit.
make things happen. I know a
Fuck
lot
yeah.
of coding, but they want to teach me actually how to code too.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome
Welcome back.
back.
Welcome back.
Nitty is officially part of the roster.
Guys, I think I'm the most like morally inept person in this group. Actually, no, that's a lie. Yorglot, I feel like, is more morally inept than me.
Eh. Are you talking in character? Because if you're talking in character, it's definitely you.
What do you mean? I have morals.
I don't know. You were the one that convinced him to steal.
Coding is
Not me.
Listen.
She
You know,
convinced-
your morals are essentially akin to like a cutthroat pirate gang being like, "Yeah, we have our morals," and being like, "Cool."
I am not
that doesn't
equivalent to
count."
a cutthroat pirate gang. There's no way.
You know what I am though? I'm a beatbox on Blueberry.
No, no.
Oh my god.
I'm a beatboxing blueberry.
Oh my god.
Got all that junk
Oh my god.
inside
I saw
my
another
trunk.
TikTok with that audio on it. So
Again? Oh
What you
god,
gonna do
now it's
with
never
all
gonna
that
get out of
junk?
your head.
it's so stuck in there. But anyways,
It's
if
gonna be
everybody's
forever.
ready, I'm good.
Alrighty.
Beatboxing
Yeah, yeah.
blueberry.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm
All
ready.
right, well then we're back, and Renine was about to say something before we left.
Yes.
I already forgot what I was saying. Oh, I remembered.
Alrighty.
I remembered that she opens up her backpack and rummages through it, takes out the longbow that she's been holding for a very long time, and hands it to Reina.
Wait,
Here
what?
you go, Reina.
Sorry. Wait, what was it?
I hand you a longbow.
A longbow?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got you a bow.
Don't I already have one?
Technically, yes.
You're gonna have an extra.
Hell yeah. I have two.
Oh, sorry, it's not a longbow, it's a short bow.
Oh, a short bow. Okay, I have a longbow now.
Now you have two bows.
I could dual wield my bows.
No, I don't think that's
I
possible.
wish.
Wait, how do I add
That'd be so
something?
cool.
You go to your inventory inventory tab. You see actions, spells, inventory.
Let's see.
And then click on inventory, manage inventory. And then you can search short bow and then add it.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So are we sleeping?
Yes.
I think
well,
it's still
yeah,
I think it's,
pretty early
it's
today.
like 3
Oh wait, yeah,
PM.
it's like 3.
Yeah. But I wanted to, once we got there, I was gonna ask the once we arrived, Yorglot's gonna go up to the wherever Milda is and ask her if he can use some water. So he'll walk up to Milda wherever she is.
Um, do you have any water you can spare for us?
I do. It's in the vases. I gather enough to where If for whatever reason we get travelers, I can at least pour them a glass of water.
And do you have anything like a bucket or something to hold it in?
The vases?
Is something less breakable?
I have a pot.
A
Like
metal
a-
pot.
Yeah, like a cooking pot.
Oh.
That'd be perfect.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'll be right back. She goes down and grabs a pot and scoops some water into it and kind of hands it to you, confused.
Thank you.
You're gonna poison this pot.
Okay.
He's about to fart from his mouth. I'm not ready.
Though the barkeep know that that will be the last time she sees that pot.
Yeah.
You're just gonna walk outside, set it down,
Oh no.
make sure that within
Are you-
like a
By the-
15-foot cone, make sure there's nothing in the way of like a 15-foot cone in front of him.
You have to move some tables out of the way, but it's easy enough to clear out a 15-foot cone. You still have like the floor of the tavern below you and above you.
I'm outside.
Outside. Yeah.
Is it too close quarters?
It's a bit. You can find a spot though. It's that where a 15-foot cone would be safe. It is still like the center of the street though.
Okay. And which side to me is the tavern? Is it behind me, to the left?
Behind you.
Behind me. Okay. What's to the
Oh
left and right
my
of me?
goodness.
A very small, like 5x7 sort of hut, and on the right side of you, and on the left side of you, there's like a 10x10 hut.
Okay. Can I kind of look into those huts to see if there's anybody in there?
Does not appear to.
Okay.
All right. Great.
Gonna
So-
up killing like a baby or something.
Yorglot's gonna take a really deep breath.
Oh no.
Oh.
And
You,
we
okay,
have
no,
to
you
cut
got
the
this.
glue. The house is down. Let's go.
Oh, I think that's the same roll. So I think that's 1, 2, 3. Yep. It's I'm gonna do it on a line this time instead of a cone. Actually, no, because that's a 30-foot line. Never mind.
I was gonna say you did not say that there's something 30 feet away from you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never mind. All right, so 15-foot cone of radiant.
Okay.
In front of me.
You, again, that rolling white fog comes pouring out of your mouth and spreads out in that 15-foot cone, leaving behind 15 feet of now untouched, regular-looking sand, and a pot that was previously like a sort of darkish cast iron color is now more of like a shining metallic color, and what appears to be clear water in it.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the pot, rush it back inside, set it down, and identify the water.
It is water.
Pog.
I'm a miracle worker.
So we
By
just
the
have
way-
this
oh.
now random cone that purified the sand and a
Didn't do
cooking pot.
anything. Yeah. There's just sand.
How is the metal on the cooking pot, by the way? Does the cooking pot look like it's cracked? No?
The cooking pot looks normal. It's now more of like a lustery, shiny metal.
Super shiny. Well,
By the way, I would like to just say that I turned off my shield.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
thank you for announcing that.
Yes.
Thank you. He remembered.
Yes.
Here, everybody, fill your water skins while you can.
Oh, right. Fill up the
Mhm.
water. Water skin.
Yay!
Yes.
I never
Yes.
used any of my water, but hey, I'll try to fill some more.
Whatever water is left in the pot is gonna
Wait.
go to What?
Oh, no, continue, sorry.
He's gonna go over to Milda and hand it to her ear. I was just testing some stuff out. Thank you very much for allowing us to use them.
You tested some and it worked. Can you do that to the pond?
That's why I was testing this to see. Unfortunately, I think how big was the pond? I assume it was
I don't-
bigger than like a 15-foot cone.
It was big. She calls it a pond, but it is a desert oasis. It's sizable.
Is
So
it
you'd have to go
30
on every
feet wide?
section. Have to go by sections, but then there's a chance of necro coming out.
Yeah, I can, but I have a feeling that whatever is wrong with the pond wouldn't stop unless we dealt with the origin of it, and that's more what I was testing for.
I see.
But we are trying to find out a way to help everybody with this problem. But again, thank you for letting me borrow some water. And
Thank
then
you.
he's gonna-
I will enjoy having some clean water to drink.
Of course.
By the
And-
way, do
Oh.
not drink too much of that oasis water. It will be deadly in the end. We'll
Well,
try to deal with it.
And yeah, then Yorglot's gonna go and sit down with the group and rest, so they've been in the heat.
Okay.
I don't know what could be causing this. If it's the monster that is. They said that it's more active at night. So we might have to wait till nightfall.
So we're
Should
going
we rest
to.
now?
Yes. Should we rest?
Well, unless you guys saw something I didn't. There was nothing in the water that looked like it was poisoning it or causing this that I could
Okay.
see.
So, since that breath of yours is working, probably would work on whatever that monster is.
Maybe. I don't know exactly. I've never heard of this monster, so just because it causes this kind of effect on the land doesn't necessarily mean that any kind of radiant power would be super effective against it, but there's always the hope, and there's always the chance that it backfires and causes the exact opposite kind of effect of a necrotic breath, and that might be less effective on it. We'll just have to see, but I think it'd probably be best if we get rest now, so we can be awake at night. See if this thing comes into town and what it does with the oasis.
I second that.
I agree.
Alright.
Milda, do you mind if we use your rooms downstairs?
Make yourselves at home.
We appreciate it. Guys, there's some bedrooms downstairs we can use. Rest now.
Was it actually bedrooms?
How many?
I believe he said there were like individualized bedrooms with no doors.
It was an assumption, but yes, there are individualized rooms, and you have a good guess. Some of them are for places to stay.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. They didn't have doors. I remember that.
So,
Alright,
I'm gonna go ahead to bed.
let's go.
Do we want people on watch while we're down here? Or do you think we'll be safe?
I think as long as we, like...
I mean, I could take first watch.
I mean, I'm going to be awake all day in case I get more
Yeah.
guests.
What? Oh,
Because
she's
it's
gonna be
all
awake all day?
people.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's fair.
We appreciate it, Mulder. If anything happens, come wake us up.
Of course.
Yorglot's gonna go to whichever room is closest and crash.
No, his name's still is. I guess her name. I don't
So
know.
go back down to the
I've been still
cellar.
calling it
There's a
Nene.
kitchen that's immediately right there, and the storage that's a bit off to the right. You walk past the kitchen, and beyond the kitchen, there appears to be like 3 individualized rooms that are all available currently. As you peek in, they're nothing fancy. They're small, about maybe 7 by 15 rooms, and they have a singular bed on the floor and one sort of mounted and hanging slightly off of the wall about 4 feet above of it, kind of like a bunk almost, but attached to the wall rather than to the other bed. And each of these 3 rooms has 2 beds. They seem big enough for one person to lay in comfortably, but 2 people could lay in easily enough together, just not as comfortable.
Yorglot's gonna go for the first room, to the floor bed, and lay down.
He actually sleeps on the bed.
The one that's on the floor. Not the
Okay. All right. Well. Yeah, we'll just take a room.
Take a room.
Specifically, what rooms? Yorglot is taking the first room.
I'll take whichever one's last.
Second.
I'll just go into a room that isn't going to be occupied.
There is not enough rooms per number of people.
With 3 rooms, there's now 5 of us. But there are
I
2
like-
beds in each room, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
There are 6 beds, 3 rooms.
I look at Eric.
Currently, there is a Yorglot in a room. There is a Runin in a
Runin?
room.
So who wants
And-
to room with me?
Then Aaron, I think Aries was saying she's going to take the last one, so
Which is the third.
Reina rooms with Rennie.
Oh. Well, never mind. My room's taken.
I go with Aries.
Oh, you don't want to room with Yorglot?
What are you doing in here?
I'm sorry, do you not want me in here?
I don't care, just don't come near me.
Roger.
I just
Alright.
imagine both of you guys just face plant on both of your beds.
Pretty much, yeah.
okay. So all of you go to lay down and begin taking essentially a rest in the middle of the day, whether it's a short or long. Doesn't particularly matter right now, as you haven't been awake that long. Let's see. I need everyone in this group. Well, let me ask first. How long are you sleeping?
No, I don't like when he asks that.
Until
I mean-
nighttime, right? That's what we wanted.
Yeah, sleep till night.
So we wouldn't get like
So-
exhaustion or anything.
Then about 6.5, 7 hours.
Probably, yeah, almost as long as a long rest.
Okay, I need everybody to make 2 Constitution saving throws in Yorglot for.
Oh,
What?
Excuse me?
Constitution
Wait, 2
saving throws.
Constitution saving throws.
Oh!
Nat 20.
5. And
Okay, I got a 20 or 21 and a 19.
I got a 5 and a 14.
Oh,
20 and a 19. 5, 14. Hold on, I'm gonna. That's V.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
A. Okay, Runine.
13 and a 15.
13 and a 15. Okay, and that's Runine. Are you okay? Reina. Do
Constitution?
saving throws.
Is that
Saving
it?
throws.
What's that?
So on the left-hand side of your screen, above where it says senses, you should see saving throws below Constitution. Window directly below Constitution on the left.
below that, where like
So-
on the left midi, where it says Constitution and Strength, but under that where it says STR No, above that. Above the senses, where it says saving throws.
Oh,
And you'll click the con one.
Click on the
Twice.
+2 that you have for con.
what? Oh,
Yep, oh, you were almost at it. Yep, right where your mouse is, right there. Saving throws, you see where it says con +2?
Yeah, just I mean, you could roll that too. In all honesty,
I'm
but
hitting it. What? That's it, right?
we're behind on your stream, so we can't tell you right exactly where you're at this moment.
No, you're
Oh,
good.
you can-
My campaigns. So if you see on the left-hand side of your screen, it shows. Yeah, that works as well. If you go over to that, that is also a saving throw, Constitution. That works.
Yeah, there you go.
And then the +2 there. You can click on the +2, and you should be able to roll it.
It might just show info.
Okay.
If you
So
go,
where you opened that window, then on the left-hand side of your screen, where you clicked on saving throws,
no, on the left.
our stream's behind. She might already be there.
Yeah, we don't know where she currently actually
Oh,
is.
I'm stupid.
And then the con right above that. There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Going to.
Perfect.
Okay. And what are your 2 rolls?
6 and 16.
6 and 16. Okay.
You ready for this?
Nope.
Nope.
Mine
We're-
are 16, 4, 18, and a natural 1.
Ooh.
Oof.
What did the natural one turn into? Just 1 still?
A 2.
2.
Oh,
Not that it
fuck.
really matters, but just
Yeah,
asking what it
it's,
turned
it's
into.
automatic fail, but you know.
Not necessarily. If a natural 1 beats a spell save DC or anything of the nature, you still succeed.
Really?
Natural
Oh,
1 does not mean fail.
Alright, there you go.
So,
But
like,
2.
if you ever get to, like, say, a +12 and a natural 1 still is a 13, you might not fail.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I didn't mean to roll that. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
God.
Yorglot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yorglot, as you go to sleep, your mind begins to drift, and you begin to have a crawling, tingling, tickling sensation all across your skin. Every part of your body begins to feel uncomfortable, and while you feel pricks and bites, you don't feel harmed or injured at first, before slowly your mind comes into a sort of a familiar dark clearing,
Oh.
and you see that same sort of vile green creature in front of you again. Its putrid smell filling your nose, and it's a little bit more well lit this time during your visit. And you see a blackish like stone beneath your feet that is sort of wet to the touch and has a squishing, slippery like sound as you step on it.
Ew.
And you hear that voice in your head again, and as you hear that voice, you notice that there's also a small stream, small trickling sound of water in this room. And looking for the source, you see a purplish pink water flowing.
Uh-huh.
Tell me why one that I have graced would cleanse my presence.
Your presence. What do you mean? Are you the one doing this to the town?
Yo, dog, you chose the wrong guy.
Not myself. in particular, but one of my pets seems to have broken free of its seal.
A monster in the town. The lizard creature. It's broken free and is doing this to these people.
It is simply turning the land the way it should be. The people are in the way.
Is there anything I can do to appease you, but help them? This creature said that you say it broke your seal. Is it defiant?
It is neither defiant nor obedient. I am still sealed away behind a much stronger. It has not received any orders from me. It is doing what is natural for its type. You say you want to appease me, yet save these insignificant people. I shall consider it. But what do I get in return?
What is it you wish?
You know I wish for you to set me free.
I plan on investigating more about your sealing in Antia. There are people in this world who know of things long forgotten. The more I meet them, I feel the more I can learn about you and how to help.
The magics that keep me sealed here work because I am forgotten. If you could sway the minds of these insignificant people, convince them that what is happening to their land is in fact a blessing, that they should be grateful to me, they would be spared from its blight. And I suppose I could overlook this.
And what of the creature?
Well, as a favored of my disciples, I could see to overlooking it if should you need to kill it. However, I'd be far more impressed if you could tame it, bring it under your control.
Damn it. I will try. And I promise this.
Very well. But before I let you go, we need to do something about that annoying light that burns within you.
The light. My ancestry.
That seeks to cleanse me from this world, to defy all that I am.
Of course.
You feel a slight wind swirling up around you and a noxious smell filling your nose that begins to fight with your inner self. You feel it intoxicatingly strong and powerful, but at the same time, you feel it is not who you necessarily are, but is instead what this being wishes you to be. You feel as though if you allow it, it will, but perhaps not now, but over time consume a portion of who you are. Do you allow it, or do you resist it?
While this is happening, as best as he can through the smell and the wind, before he agrees to anything, he's going to say one thing.
And you promised power.
Have I ever given you anything but power?
And he takes a big, deep breath of agreeance, if that makes sense. Of acceptance.
As you inhale the smoke, you begin to cough in your sleep. A sort of hacking, sickly-like cough at first before it clears up, and a little bit raspy and it's harsh. In this dream, you feel a portion of magic inside of you shatter. That magic that is light and radiant. And you feel a sort of void-like toxic black seep its way into where it was, replacing it. Now, do me proud, and don't disappoint me.
You won't.
The vision begins to fade of that room that you're in before you feel yourself as if you're waking up. But as you're waking up, you look around and you can't see any source of light. In fact, even with dark vision, it is so pitch black and void of any light that there is no light for dark vision to see. But you feel slithering and crawling and all sorts of insect-like creatures traveling over every part of your body and in every part of your body.
Ew.
Every breath feels like you inhale insects and worms and bugs. Every exhale feels like moths and flies flying out of your mouth or through your nose. And as you reach around, you feel as though you are encased in a box, small, barely large enough for your body. And as you lay there in this quiet, minus the sound of the bugs and of your breathing, you can feel bits and pieces of your body flaking away and breaking off, but no pain. Before slowly your senses grow dim and your vision goes dark once again, and with a gasp and a cough you wake up, spewing maggots and worms all over the floor of the bottom floor of this tavern.
God, I did not sleep in the same room as he did.
As you look at your arms and your hands, you feel slight tingling pain as you see bite marks of small insects and acidic like burns going all the way up and along your arms to your upper arm, before slowly you watch as a black sort of substance coats over them and heals, bringing you back to the way you were. During the course of your sleep, you suffer a total of 9 points
Oh my
Shit.
god.
of necromantic damage,
Okay.
to which you can use a hit die if you like, because you are resting.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
For the rest of you, while you are asleep,
Nice. 6. Okay. Sorry.
Swear to God, if you kill me, I'm gonna be pissed, dog.
Valzor, you are
Yeah.
sound asleep, and you feel no pain nor disturbance through your sleep at all.
Great.
Yorglot, what is your spell attack?
My
Spell attack modifier.
hold on, sorry. Spells plus modifier plus 3. My spell attack is plus 5.
Spell attack.
Spell attack is plus 5.
All right. Aries.
Oh no!
Brunine.
Oh no! Oh!
Did you just now realize what you're doing?
Oh shit!
Both of
Yeah.
you begin to feel the crawling of bugs in your sleep, and
Oh.
normally this would be enough to jolt you awake. That is not threatening and not from a malicious source. And so while it is happening, you're not sleeping comfortably, but you do not stir as these poisonous bites begin to sink their small fangs into you. Each of you suffer 5 points of necrotic damage. Reyna, you feel it for a portion of your sleep before they seem to leave or no longer affect you. You suffer 3 points of necrotic damage. All of you can use hit dice if you would like to try to recover those HP lost during the course of your rest.
Okay, wait. So what do I roll for that?
Whatever your hit dice is.
Yeah, so like if you have a D10 for your hit dice, you would have 3 D10 for your level, or if you have a D8 or a D6, you can roll that dice up to the number of levels you have.
How do you know your hit dice?
It'd be in your character where your levels are at when you're editing your sheet.
If you click short rest, it will also tell you what your hit
Oh,
dice are.
okay.
Wait, so I did not take any
1d8
damage, right?
Plus.
Correct.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
fuck them bugs.
Hell no.
I rolled shit.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Fuck you.
Okay, I got a 9.
You can use up to all your hit dice to recover if you need.
You picked the wrong fucking person to serve.
Okay, I'm all the way back up, but god damn, dude. Don't make bugs crawl me when I sleep, you asshole.
I mean, we don't really know that. We just
Yeah.
know
I
that
know.
we suffered something.
I don't think anybody woke up.
It was just
so.
a bad night's rest.
That we lost some HP. Or we might find out that we got bug bites when we wake up.
We just have mosquito bites.
It says 1d10 plus 2, so is it just 7 plus 2?
Correct. You only took 3 damage though, so your full health off of just 7, but yes. It would be the D10, so you're 7, plus 2 hit points per dice, and you could do that a total of 3 times.
Oh yeah, I forgot I can do that.
I think you get a hit dice every level, so.
Yes.
Yes.
Your hit dice are based off of your level.
Alright.
Right. as you all begin to wake up as well at around the same time, with the exception of Valzor, all of you feel uncomfortable, and as you look around, you see the signs of a couple bugs skittering away out of the room. Only a couple, maybe 2 or 3 remnant per room. Most of them have long since left. But as you look at your arms, you see a sort of black mark on your arms or your legs or your sides, wherever it was that you were bit, that is just, it feels as though it's healed, as though it's normal skin, but it is remaining black, and you feel hurt from it.
Yorglot or everyone?
Mine healed.
That's what the
right?
3 of you did. His
Oh.
are healed. It's like he doesn't have any damage on it.
Valzor, did you try to tattoo me in my sleep?
What? No, I had one of the best gosh darn sleeps of my life. Ugh.
Well, did you didn't feel any, like, bug bites or anything?
What are you talking about?
It might have just been the bed. I just... Okay.
You guys are ready?
Yorglot kind of like knocks on the walls because there's no doors, so just knocks on the walls.
Hey, it's time to get up, guys. Come on.
Is it time?
What's that? You
Is
might
it
cut
already
out.
that time?
Yeah.
Did you...
Nighttime.
So, we're curing the water, or... What are we doing?
We're gonna go check on the. See if we can't find that monster. I have a feeling that this is a lot deeper than we think, and that maybe the current effects aren't as bad as everybody thinks they are. It's mainly just the monster that's the problem.
What do you mean? I think dying's a pretty bad effect.
Yes. But I think the monster is the biggest problem as to why people are dying. I think people could get used to drinking purple water and be fine.
No. No. It is killing people. I don't think you can just wave that off as purple water.
I mean,
Me?
you...
I'm waving it off as the monster, so let's get up, get ready, and go find this thing.
Oh, alright. I guess we're fighting.
Give me a second to put on my armor.
Do we even know what we're fighting?
No clue.
Oh, I'm not saying we have to fight it today or right now, but at least.
Well, if it's the problem, then we should probably try to get rid of it.
This is true.
Something we agree on. I'll be waiting upstairs.
I'm gonna go upstairs with Yorglot.
Are we not gonna try at least to cure any of the water for anyone?
I mean,
Did you say that like out, like yelling it to you? Because after Yorglot
Yeah.
said it, he turned around and started walking.
Yeah, I started I'll yell it at you.
I don't know. All I know right now is that monster is the biggest problem. If it's able to just walk in here and kill people left and right.
I haven't seen it.
But it's a thing, so come on.
And at
Right.
that point, he's too far gone.
Uh,
He's been walking.
It's okay. Someone's in a real big rush.
yes, I don't really know. Did you get
a good night's sleep.
Not at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I got this weird. Where would it? I'm
On
gonna
your
just
arm.
on my arm. I got this weird plate, or whatever this mark is. Ugh.
I did too. I thought Valzor was playing a joke on me, but I
I
got one
doubt he
too.
would do it to several people.
He seems to have been the only one with a good night's sleep, unless. Reyna? Where is Reyna?
She's in the room with Renee.
Yeah, I know, but I kind of walked in. I don't know which room you chose.
Yeah. She's with her, so she's kind of listening in.
Did you
Reyna.
get a good sleep?
No. Some reason I have this bite. Felt like something was biting me.
Just a weird assumption. Do you think this bug is after females? It's literally all our females in the
It
party.
is a sexist bug. I agree. Let's squash it.
This is canon. All the bugs in this world are sexist.
Ugh. But regardless of my little joke, it's quite weird that we got this bug, but anyone else did.
Well, I mean, I would assume that Yorglot hasn't had the best night's sleep either. He seems rather snippy today.
On the edge? Hey.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, I'm gonna go catch up with them. I'll meet you guys upstairs once you're ready.
I getting there as she is putting the last pieces of her armor on. Alright. We'll join up with the rest.
He's Arena follows along.
All right.
Waiting upstairs for everybody. Yorglot's not really talking, kind of just like walking and pacing with like a sense of purpose.
When I get upstairs, I say, Yorglot, did you, by chance, feel like you got bitten by anything last night?
Bitten.
Yes, it seems that me, Runine, and, shit, sorry. Reyna's, yes, sorry, I was like, 2 R's. Oh, got this mark, and I show him my arm.
Yorglot like pulls back his sleeves.
No. I seem to be fine.
Really strange. Well, did you notice anything off last night? At all?
No, I did not.
Alright. I just sit down and I wait for Runine and Reyna to come upstairs.
Well, I can only assume that we come upstairs in a minute or two.
Okay.
Did we see where Milda was at all?
She appears to have been up on the upper floor. She's kind of outside, though, doing some work outside of the tavern.
Okay.
Finally, you guys are here. Alright. Well, what do we want to do? We don't really have much information on where this thing goes, but If it's active at nighttime, we could try sitting at one of the main entrances of town.
I don't. You seem to be the one that's in a rush here.
Well, I'm sorry that I want to help these people by getting rid of a monster.
Can be closer to the center of town, maybe?
Near the oasis.
I mean, could possibly be that it drinks water there and thus it corrupts the oasis.
Sounds good to me. You guys ready?
I'll ever be.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's get going.
He starts walking out the door towards the
Follow.
oasis.
As you make your way out the door, you realize that the last remnants of sun are beginning to fade behind the dunes. It's now going on to dark. There is no more sunset in the sky. A majority of the sky is black, with only the slightest bit of a sort of like orangish red on the very far horizon. You make your way to the oasis. People seem to have long since gone back into their houses. You can see many people have stacked crates or vases or whatever they can find in the doorways as best they can to prevent anything from getting inside, even though it's not a perfect barricade and you doubt that it would be able to hold back any larger creature, but it's something that they can do, and so they've all done so, at least in the houses that still have people in them. The abandoned ones are still exactly that. They have no people nor any barricades set up. There are still a couple of the Sultan's Guard wandering around the town in their blue vests and blue pants. A few moments later, you make your way, you get to the oasis that you were aiming to reach. This oasis in the dark, it's not what you would expect. The water itself glows. It is a almost ethereal, like pinkish purple glow. It gives you flashbacks to children's books and stories of fey forests that are bright and vibrant and beautiful. It stands out from the gray and black surroundings of the dead trees, the brush, and the sand, and it appears to almost have particles coming off of it as it almost looks as though it's boiling, with pink wisps floating up into the air.
Well, that didn't look like that before.
Ugh,
Looks
Wow.
pretty magical.
it looks beautiful.
Like, comes alive at night.
You're just gonna walk over to the pond and stick his hand in it.
What are you doing?
You feel a warmth of water. It is not cool. It is fairly comfortable, relaxing, soothing, almost calming to an extent. You don't feel any pain or any sort of poisonous or necrotic-like reaction.
Can we see through the water or no?
Yeah, it is somewhat transparent. It's not. It's obviously not as clear as, say, just a normal glass of clear water, but it is like a pinkish purple tinted window, so it does still have transparency.
He's gonna. Yorglot's gonna pull out another empty vial and scoop up this seemingly different water, and he's gonna use like a rock or something or some kind of label or
to scratch or etch just so he knows the difference between the two vials that he has.
Here.
As you pull out the other vial and look at it, it as well looks the same. The sort of glowing pinkish purple now.
Oh. Okay. Give me a minute. You guys be okay watching out for this creature?
Got my eye out.
Yes, but while we're here, why don't we at least try to cure part of the water? Or
Or do-
while there's not people out.
I'm gonna go identify the water right now.
Okay.
They're gonna go back to the same hut that he did it the first time and identify one of the vials.
I'm not going to let you come or roll again for it. It is still just water that you identify.
I'm
It
keeping my
takes
eye out for anything
him-
that's.
11 minutes.
11 minutes to do
11
this. All right.
I'm keeping my eye
As
out for anything.
he's gone, I start ritual casting detect magic.
Oh yeah, where's your ferret?
It's not on me.
Okay. I forgot. I totally forgot about your ferret until like 2 seconds ago.
It's
So-
a weasel.
Oh, weasel. Yeah, sorry.
The rest of you watch as Renine pulls out a book, begins drawing a sort of ritualistic circle into the sand, and begins casting magic of her own. And as she does so, you take 11 minutes of your own as well to cast this. And when you finish, anything magical in your possession and in your allies' possessions all begin to light up.
Mhm.
However, you also get distinct magical detections, albeit very, very faint, from all of the sand, the plants, and the water.
In my
Does it
magical
glow
s-
just for her, or do we see this glow too?
Only for her.
Only for me.
Sadly, it is not a group detect magic.
I don't think there's even. Is there a freaking group? detect-
Anything can exist in homebrew, but default, no, there is not.
Oh. Yeah, no. Don't have group detect.
That gives me a fun idea to make.
So she kind of like moves her foot over and like erases her little magical circle that she just did and puts away her book into her strap.
Well, so
For-
this happens at the exact same time that he has finished. So this is going to be a matter of, I guess, initiative to who cleans up first.
Fuck.
Because it's exactly 11 minutes for each of you.
Yeah, but he left to go into a hut.
That's not far away. That's a ways.
It's like 10 feet away. But
Mm.
yeah, I went into the hut, which have no doors and no windows, sat down, detected magic, or not detected magic, identified this vial. It came back as water. And then I assume Yorglot would get back up and walk out.
Basically, either way you look at it, you're either starting as he's walking away, to which he has the chance to hear you doing things as he's walking away, or it's whether or not you were done before he got up and got out of the hut. So it's going to come down to initiative roll either way.
So, initiative?
Mhm.
Yorglot's just
Natural
standing up
20.
and walking outside.
Natural 20.
Okay.
If you would like to try to see, you can roll your own initiative to see if you're faster, but
I mean, 19, so really close, but no.
so she just finishes sweeping everything away and cleaning everything up and standing back to relative normalcy. Still kind of in the process of doing something, but at this point it's so obscured that you would not be able to know what she was up to.
Yeah, and he's not even looking for it anyways, so
Yeah.
he has nothing to know to look for, so.
Yep.
But,
So
yeah,
now that
no,
I have detect magic up, what does Yorglot have on him?
Yorglot himself isn't a school of magic. He has magic within him, but like it's not like
No, I meant like items and everything. Like
yeah.
detect magic.
that's a question for Yorglot, then, not me.
You sense it for
how did-
magic. If you can, you can see a faint aura around any visible creature or object that bears magic.
Any visible item or creature?
Any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic. So I
Okay.
can technically learn his school of magic.
I said he
No,
is not a school of
not a
magic.
school.
That's fair.
You would see. I mean, my staff isn't magical. It's just something I use magic through, right? Because my staff is the only thing that's visible from eyesight.
If
And
it
the
is
water
just a
that I-
regular staff, then yes.
Yeah, it's just an arcane focus.
Then no, that would not be magical in and of itself. At least not in the
Oh.
aspect of the school.
It says
Yeah.
the spell can penetrate most barriers, but it can't. It is blocked by a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
So then you would see the 2 vials of water that I'm holding, because he said that the water glowed magical.
Glue.
So you'd see the 2 vials of water.
Mhm.
You would see the monocle would light up, because I have that on my eye.
Oh, yeah.
I believe you would see a small orb, a very small orb, in my backpack. I don't know if it's a.
Well,
Well, it would
so
be-
the way it works with chess, before you get too far, is
Okay.
you would see a magical aura coming from the backpack that is of whatever is in there.
Okay.
You wouldn't
so-
like just have X-ray vision and be like, "Oh, I see a magical wallet and a magical coin
Okay.
and a magical cup." You would
Okay.
see backpack has 3-ish things that are magical of these affinities.
Okay, so this is all you would see. You would see the monocle, which I don't know what identifies. The spell identifies magic school is. I don't know what that
It's
is. but
detection or divination.
the
there you go.
divination off the monocle. You would see whatever the healing one is from the amulet that I'm wearing, which
Probably also divination.
is clearly visible. You would see from the backpack. You
Just
would
aura.
see 1, 2. Are potions magical or no?
No, I don't
Okay.
believe so.
It depends on the potion. If it's a healing potion, yes. If it's any
Oh.
of those fancy potions you got, yes.
You would see 3. I didn't get any fancy potions, so you would see 3.
Didn't you
auras.
keep the potions in your bag after everything that happened?
Oh, you're talking about the alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you meant like potions. So then you would see 6 magical auras. One of them divination, one of them conjuration, one of them what's time? What school
I
of-
think that's
Time is generally still divination.
Okay, then another divination. You would see a is what is cold and fire? I don't know the school for it.
Generally evocation.
Evocation, and then I don't know what
Damn.
you would see for the
It's
black.
it's
alcohol.
not really a school. That's more of like curse,
Okay,
which would not actually be picked up by detect magic.
so then you wouldn't see that. You would just see
5.
yeah, you would see 2 evocations, a conjuration, and 2 divinations.
So you would actually only see 3. You don't get to see 5 distinct
Individual.
individual auras. You would see
Okay.
the 3 different schools coming from the backpack.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So any luck?
No, the water still just seems like it's water, at least when I identify it. But Other than that, I've got nothing.
Oh, would the keys be? Would the keys show up?
The keys currently do not show up.
Then never mind.
Well,
So I don't know if it's just more potent at night. But
And seeing that it's the same, he's gonna empty one of his vials, so he gets that empty vial back.
While they were doing that, could I see anything moving at all?
Go
Like,
ahead and roll
in
a
the-
perception check.
I'd also like to know if I did this one.
Perception check.
Oh, it was almost a nat 20, but I rolled an 8. God damn it. Okay, 10.
I got a 7.
uh,
As far as you are aware, no, nothing is moving besides you.
Okay, great.
God damn it.
have you guys seen
great
any-
teamwork.
have you
I
guys
know.
seen any of the monsters so far?
No.
Couldn't make anything out, no.
Alright. Well, I say we find somewhere to hide. Wait for it. And see if we can't catch it off guard or
I'm fairly good at that, I think. And I find a spot to hide. Can I hide in one of like the bushes?
There's, well, at the oasis bushes, yeah.
The bushes at the oasis are dead and have no leaves, so
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not the greatest hiding spot.
Can
However,
I use
I'm not going to
my-
tell you that you are not allowed to try to use them as a hiding spot, because in D&D, for the most part, the roll matters the most, and then your choice of spot matters second most. If you roll a natural 20 and you're in the middle of a street, I can be like, well, you're hiding amongst everyone else in the street, or like, whatever. But if there's no one else in the street, that's when then it starts to matter. Again, kind of with the bush. If you natural 20, you are as hidden as you can be in a bush that is not very hidden.
Great.
Behind the hut,
Yes.
or in the
Yeah.
hut, even.
I'm just kidding, but what if I used the disguise kit to paint myself as branches of the bush?
So a camo
You
suit?
are more than welcome to try.
No, thank you.
You're actually gonna do it?
No,
No.
thank you.
Oh no, thank you.
Yes, please. This is what I want to do with my life. No.
Okay, I really want to smite you guys with a lightning bolt because of that spell we put into the campaign, and I keep getting one off.
Oh,
Oh my
my
God.
goodness!
Stop trying to kill us.
Please
You
no.
know, the shitty thing though. Every time he's rolling that, it's just to see if it hits us, which means somebody did activate the spell, and somebody out there is getting
Yeah.
fucked right now.
Yeah, somebody just got hit by a lightning bolt or some other effect.
Isn't
Watch
there
it be like
trees?
the moment we're like standing next to someone and it hits the person next to us.
And we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That person just got burnt to a crisp right before our very eyes. And we could do
Minecraft.
nothing to stop it.
Isn't there like palm trees at the oasis?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dead, but there are palm trees.
Like, even if it's
So
dead.
there's no leaves
can-
on the top, but it has a trunk.
Oh fuck.
Climb it.
And palm trees are not the stealthiest of trees.
Yeah, they
Oh,
don't they
nice.
like tilt really easily?
Yeah.
And there's like no branches or anything to hide in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know because there's a lot of sand. Reyna digs a little hole and like
A
buries.
little trench.
Yeah, like buries herself a little bit. Like she can breathe, but she like hides underneath the
A
sand.
little sand.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay. Yes.
Are you sure you should be digging a hole with your bear cub?
Oh, wait.
Also, the sand does not seem to be the healthiest option, especially without any protective items on you.
But if you feel comfortable being in the cold sand like a little snake, I will allow you to do so.
Yorglot watching this is just gonna go
Allow.
hide in one of the buildings.
I got a 14.
You got a 14. What did you say, Onion?
I said Yorglot watching this strange thing happen is just gonna go hide in one of the buildings
Yeah.
like a normal person.
You feel sufficiently buried. You make a little like cubby hole for your bear cub's head to pop out of as well to breathe.
Reina, how about
I'm gonna crawl on top
might-
of one of the buildings and just like lay on top of it.
you might have a hard time running if you do get discovered. So, how about you just follow me and we could go to the hut right there? And she points to the hut that's 10 feet away from them.
Fine. I wanted to have like the upper hand, like a surprise attack, but okay.
Didn't the
You have nature. You can shoot it from like a building, can you not?
All right.
you got range?
Good idea.
So yeah, Yorglot, whatever building looks like it's decently.
Did, out of curiosity, Yorglot ever identify the bow?
No.
Never.
Okay, it is a bow.
Oh, it was... Wait, then I could have seen it with the I detect magic. It runs for freaking.
I said all the items on your party member.
You just never looked at any other party member but me. You
Yeah.
No, I have look. When I got out of my spell, I can only assume that I looked at everyone's
And
or
I
glanced
said
around.
every magic item that your party has, and you only specifically questioned it about Yorglot.
Yeah.
I by no means hid that other party members of yours have magic item. You just were only interested in Yorglot's magic items.
Okay, well, detect magic should still be
It
running.
is still running, yes.
What is on Midi?
A bow, divination school for sure.
A short bow?
Yes, the new one.
Heck. We've had
Oh.
a magical bow this whole time.
I never knew what it would have done.
Wait, did you try to shoot it once?
Wait, yeah, wait.
'Cause, like,
did-
we
didn't
were in-
Marine use it at one point?
She used a crossbow.
No, I gave you the
Oh.
crossbow.
She used
Right.
my crossbow.
Yeah. To which
Right.
I freaking need to remember to give that back to you. Me, the player, keeps forgetting.
So I got a magic bow for free. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't know
From
it's
the
magic,
berry
though.
hunt.
You don't
Lit.
know it's magic though. You just think it's a normal bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have
Oh.
2 bows on me.
Okay, so
Damn.
was that everything that was on Midi's character?
Mitty, do you have any other magic items in your inventory?
Let me see. Magic?
It would be like, green.
if it's colored.
Yeah, if it's colored.
What?
If you go in your
Like
inventory,
the item, like how you see like longbow and whatnot, if that is as compared to gray, if it's like a green or a blue text, then it's magic. But it does not look like you have any different colored items, so no, you do not have any magic.
Nope.
So yeah, the bow. The new bow.
oh, Reina, I recommend you trying out the new bow that I gave you.
Okay. And then tries out the bow. Wait, should I use a spell with the bow? Or just
Wait on it until we find the monster. But yes, you should have a higher advantage since you are ranged. I'm going to stay here on the ground.
okay. Goes up the building. Side.
I mean, as an aside, you have no idea if this thing requires attunement or will even.
Yeah, I
work
don't know.
over.
I don't know. Could possibly be attunement. But
The only way you know is if somebody goes and asks Yorglot.
wait, what?
The only way you could possibly know is if somebody goes and asks Yorglot.
Yep.
Yeah, and if
'Cause,
you ask Yorglot, then he'll know that you have magic.
Not in particular.
Um,
It's
Uh,
we'll see. If she uses the bow and it actually uses magic, then he would be interested in identifying it himself.
maybe.
Maybe. But yeah.
All right.
So we're all
Waiting.
waiting now.
Yup.
Yep.
Okay.
Perception checks, I'm guessing. Wait, no, I can see shit. I don't see anything.
Yeah, you can't. You're blind.
Under the map.
But yes, so perception checks. I need, we'll say, 2 sets of 2. So if we want to do like Yorglot and Reyna or Yorglot and Ares as the first group, whoever wants to be the first group, I need perception checks. A total of 2 could be with advantage or each person rolling. I don't care.
Wait,
I
does
don't mind
Rena
going
have dark
for the
vision?
first,
Oh yeah, she does.
set.
Well, who has the worst perception?
Probably me. I have +0.
Okay, then you and Reyna go and give Reyna advantage because she's got +5 perception.
Excuse.
Yeah. So
Wood elves,
yeah.
rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Reyna, you roll perception twice.
Found it.
And you take the higher number of the 2. $19.
19, dog. Ooh.
Okay.
And then
Yes.
me and Ares, we have the same perception. So do you want just both of us roll, or one of us have advantage?
You can roll with advantage.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Okay. So the first portion, Reyna, you're very attentive, paying attention, listening, looking, and before long, you begin to hear a rattling. Is sort of like rattlesnake like shaking from the distance, but it's hard to pinpoint the direction of where it's coming from. In fact, the more you try to listen for where it's coming from, the more it sounds like it's coming from everywhere. To the point where you're not really able to tell where this creature currently is. And it's very difficult to hear. And that continues for the better part of an hour or an hour and a half of just hearing this rattling. You see no signs of a creature. You see or hear no signs of people being attacked. You do not sense anything that would lead you to think that there's danger approaching you. You simply just continue to hear this rattling. Yorglot, growing increasingly more concerned and more paranoid and more concerned by this constant sound, especially considering that you were described as a hypnotic rattle by the first Sultan's Guard that you spoke with, is what is attached to the end of the tail of this creature. You begin to poke your head through the window and look around before, in the center of the pond of the oasis, you see no creature, but for a second, just a split second, you think you see the flash of 2 glowing green orbs about 5 to 7 feet off the ground that are standing in the center of this pool, before then they disappear again.
Okay.
Great.
Is anybody in the building with me, or no? Because I know 2 people are on the roofs. Where's Valzor and Renin?
Renin's near the hut.
I'm
Mine
also near
or
the hut, I would assume.
the one that I'm at, or a
The
different
closest one is the same one. So if you went to the closest one, they went to the closest one.
Oh, I thought you meant like you went to a bigger building. Sorry. Yeah, we're at the same hut then.
Guys, there's something in the lake, or in the pond.
Well, I can't exactly see very well.
It's
What
The
in-
pond
is
is
it?
glowing and lit, so you could see the pond.
Oh, that's fair. I thought it was like dimly lit.
It is mystically glowing, like
Mm.
bright.
Okay, never mind then.
I saw these 2 green orbs, right up, like about 7 feet above the pond.
I peek from behind the hut. I don't see it, right?
You do not see green orbs, but as you peek from behind the hut, what you do see is unnatural ripples in the water, like something's moving, but nothing's there.
Do I see
Gu-
those
gu-
as
gu-
well?
Guys, there's something moving in the water.
I think it's invisible. I don't
Invisible?
think it's, yes.
Are you kidding me?
If it's invisible, it's
Wait.
going to be a much tougher fight.
Question: How much time has it been? Has it been 10 minutes?
Well, more.
Darn it!
The
I was like,
rattling went for more than an hour.
I could have used it. Dang it! Detect magic
Wait.
probably could have been useful here.
Raina, you have night vision, right? Or dark vision?
Yeah, she has
Yeah.
dark vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone but me.
Well, so Lorena knowing where to look for this, it's in your senses window, right below saving throws.
Like where you see passive wisdom, passive intelligence, passive insight, perception, and investigation.
When he does see
Oh,
those
night vision, 60 feet.
Dark
Yeah.
vision, yeah.
dark vision, when he
Yeah.
does see those glowing eyes as well, for the 2 people he can reach and himself for the next 18 seconds, he's casting false life.
Well, we're on top of the building, and like, there's no like windows or anything. Would we be able to hear them say this or no?
No.
Depends on how loud they're talking. I'm gonna assume they're quiet, so I'm gonna say. Actually, all of everybody's perceptions rolls were high, so I will say yes. You can hear this.
Okay.
Woo!
False life for you, Renine, is 5 temporary, and for you, Valzor, is 8 or 7. Sorry. And I got 8 on mine.
And I can't reach Ares or right now.
Here.
So what are we gonna do? This rattling is starting to freak me out. I don't like the rattling from what the Sultan's guard told me. It's
Well, I think we're going to have bigger problems if we can't even see the thing.
yes, but
Hold on, how much did I get from false life? Sorry.
7.
7? Yeah, 7.
As you are talking amongst yourselves, you begin to see what looks to be one of the villagers kind of sleepily and dazily walking down the road towards the oasis.
Shit.
Fuck,
Uh.
dude. Oh, I so.
Okay. I want to chuck.
Chuck what?
Go ahead.
Improvised weapon.
Okay, I'm gonna check my dagger of inflictions and stun him. I'm gonna check it at his knee. Try my best to.
How far away is he?
Yeah, wait, how far away is he?
So he is walking down the road that will eventually pass by your hut. So he will come within range.
Okay.
So you can definitely prepare yourself to do that.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna prepare myself to try to chuck it and like hit his knee or his
Okay.
like leg.
Go ahead and roll the hit.
Oh no!
Okay.
Would you kill him by
I
accident?
Well,
won't. I
Dagger
won't.
of Inflictions deals no damage if she does the infliction.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm more worried about her losing her dagger.
Oh shit. No. Okay. Yeah. No. That's a yikes there.
But it just, I mean, it's a 12. Tell him-
Yeah.
That hits the townsperson, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The
Okay.
townsperson
So
lazily
I
thinking,
wanna I can do stun, right, or paralysis? Yeah. So
You
I
can do
want to
whatever.
paralyze him.
Okay. You watch his body lock up and freeze and kind of sit there limp-like. Does paralysis have a duration on it?
1 round.
Okay.
6
6 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Did we see this or
Oh wait. Okay. When that happens, I wanna jump off the building and grab it. Like I wanna jump down and grab it while he's paralyzed, and then run inside the building.
How tall is the building?
They're not that tall.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're
and
only about like 9-10
Yeah.
feet.
and my acrobatics is pretty good, so fine.
Okay. Are you trying to move stealthily during this? If you do, it halves your speed.
Yeah, I'll move stealthily.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. 17.
You hop down, quiet as a feather, land on the sands, and dart your way across the sort of blackish sand road. Grab the dagger, and you get right to the doorway, right inside of it on the house across the way.
Okay.
not our house?
But can I see them inside there? Like,
Yes.
And did we see her paralyze this guy?
would think
No. Well, if you're currently focused on the monster, no,
Yeah, we didn't
because
specify
this
that we
is
would.
off to the roads. That's
Yeah.
to the
she
side.
She did it stealthily, so.
Correct.
Alright.
Wait, can I?
I'm gonna wildly flail my arms to try to get someone's attention inside the building.
Well, you're not gonna get Rennie's touch.
So-
Should I do a perception check or something to see if I see her?
Sure.
Or is that passive perception?
Yeah, would it be passive? I don't know.
What is the passive perception of everybody that is in the building?
Well, I'm outside of the building. Would that
I'm like
help
behind the
any-
building.
Where outside of the building are you?
You're outside? I thought you were all inside. I had to tap you to
No,
give you permission.
I said I was near the building.
Then you
And
don't
I
have full flight.
specified that I went behind the hut.
I'm on
Okay.
top of the
beginning.
building, right?
I'm on the side closest to the oasis, on the outside.
Okay, so take off all your guys' temp HP, because I can't touch you to give you it. Because
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
inside the building.
I did not know that.
Alright.
Yeah, I thought you guys were in the building with me.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Nope.
Not you, Reyna.
Okay.
Can I see like where the monster is in the water or no?
Yes, you can.
Can I cast a spell? Like it's moving around, right?
Yeah, it's moving around.
Can I do the ensnaring strike?
That would require you also shoot it.
You would shoot it with
Yeah.
the spell. That's what he's saying. So you have to roll an attack.
Well, so ensnaring strike is it enchants like your weapon, and then on the next time your weapon hits it, then ensnaring strike goes off. So it's not like shooting a magic spell. You have to shoot this thing with an arrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna still shoot it though. Well,
you
try
see it?
to.
It's invisible.
She can see where it's at. You
Huh.
can't see the creature itself.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just gonna try and shoot it, like, in the direction, hopefully.
Okay, if you are using the spell with it already, then go ahead and mark the spell slot.
Oh wait, shit! I didn't mean to roll that.
How do I do this?
So in your spells, where it's like first level, you have on the right-hand side slots. That means you get 3 spell slots before you have to rest to get them back. So directly across from first level.
And then I click on it.
Yep, and that means you've used one of your 3 first level spell slots. And then that means you have now used Ensnaring Strike.
Do I hit
So,
cast?
You don't have to. Cast would just do the same thing basically. But then you're going to need to hit it with your bow. So you're going to want to go to your action stab and then make an attack with your bow.
Oh, shit.
This? I hit the 1d8 plus 5. But-
The hit / DC.
It's a DC for the ensnaring strike. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, but she has to hit with the arrow first.
Yeah, I do.
So
Gotta-
the hit / DC.
So where it says +9, you do that.
Yeah, I did it. It's
Oh.
I got a 17.
That hits. So now you go ahead and you roll damage.
What? Oh, I get it. Okay,
There you go.
I got a 10.
And nice. And the effects of ensnaring strike happen
so-
if the DC.
Yeah, so now go back to your spells and click on Ensnaring Strike.
I got a 4.
No, so like click on the spell itself.
Oh,
Like on the words Ensnaring Strike, it should open up a description of Ensnaring Strike. So the next time you hit a creature before the spell ends, a writhing mass of thorny vines appears, blah, 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 blah. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends. Large or larger creature has advantage on this throw. If the target succeeds on the throw, the vines shrivel away. While restrained by the spell, the target takes d6 at the start of each of its turns. So you dealt your 10 damage, and then if it gets ensnared by these vines, then at the start of every one of its turns, it'll take a d6 of damage. But if it resists the vines right now, or if it ever breaks out of them, because it later on says a creature restrained by the vines or one that can touch the creature can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC to break out. So as long as it's in the vines, it'll take that d6. Once it breaks out of the vines, that d6 no longer deals damage. Up to a total of a minute for the duration of the spell. So, first I need to roll a strength saving throw. And it is a large creature.
Okay.
So, go ahead and close out of that spell. You can actually kind of see it right now. But, so, next to Ensnaring Strike, what is the hit / DC for Ensnaring Strike?
13, I think.
Strength 13.
So you watch as the arrow fires out from your bow, aiming true, arcing across the night sky before impacting the side of this creature. And as it does, you watch as this sort of like camouflage fades, and you can see this hulking, large, grayish black creature, 4 legs on each side, or 4 legs total, 2 on each side, a long tail, a cobra-like head coming up off of the front with a large fan, the arrow sticks directly into the outstretched portion of that fan. And as it does, the eyes snap open and you see those glowing green orbs again that you hadn't seen before for a while, Yorglot, as he had closed its eyes. And it hisses and roars into the night sky with an angry growl. And it slowly begins to have vines try to reach around, wrapping it up and try to restrain this large creature before it just shakes and you can hear the cracking of vines and branches as it breaks its way out of them.
Okay.
Did not work.
Shit has started though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still want to attack with it? Maybe? Want to tame it? You're
And
good?
that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
What?
No!
No.
God damn it. God damn it. You just
honest.
right.
I'll be honest, I'm actually getting slightly tired, so I think this is
Same.
actually a
Same.
good.
Well, it's also 4 hours, and we just started combat, and that could potentially take an hour to 2 hours. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
drag it on too
Yeah.
long.
I fucking.
Fair
I
point.
attacked it.
Fuck that
No.
bitch.
Reina booped it.
Yeah, I booped it with my arrow.
Moved it, and then it's gonna womp us.
I tried to capture it.
Yes.
Checked their Pokeball and it didn't work. It's fine.
Yeah.
You have to hurt a little, that's all.
Yeah, you didn't hurt it. You're supposed to hurt it.
Oh no.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, we're a little oofed right now, but it's okay.
But I'm from afar though, so I could. I don't know.
I don't know. I think I messed with its food.
I think you
I
did.
don't know.
Definitely have a fight on our hands.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be getting me a pet snake, baby. Yes, sir.
If you can, before we kill it.
That's what I said I'm gonna try to be.
Tame that snake. Who's that Pokemon?
Not that Pokemon. It's
So,
a monster.
sorry.
It's an abomination.
Well, let's be clear. All Pokemon are monsters, less the name Pokemon Pocket Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to formally apologize for the bugs.
Yeah, god damn it. I've
Hey,
got a
don't
cool
worry.
new
I
tattoo.
had the best sleep ever.
Wait,
It's
do you
fine.
have a tattoo too?
Huh?
Because you didn't feel it.
No,
So wait, so
I
he doesn't.
didn't take any damage. I wasn't attacked at all.
You didn't get a cool new mark.
well, he had the bugs around him, but they didn't.
We
bite
got
him.
a cool
It
freckle.
didn't affect his sleep at all.
Exactly.
So he still had the bugs around him like you guys did. It's just you guys actually got hurt, and so did I. I just
You
recovered
healed yourself.
It was sexist.
physically.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Okay, I just do what my god tells me to. Okay, he works in mysterious ways. What can I say?
Not mysterious at all. He's just like, what the hell, dude? Kill these guys.